This first set is dead even.
Unbelievable combination.
Wow. Beautifully done.
What a great spot.
Hello and welcome to the 2025-26 APTA Men's and Women's National Championships. We're live from Canoe Brook Country Club in Summit, New Jersey, bringing you the 2026 APTA National Championships with live sponsor streaming by the APTA membership and our tour presenting sponsor, Corient. Tournament support has also been provided by the following: Land Rover Parsippany, where excellence comes standard; CELOS, helping clients achieve their investment objectives since 1984; the New Jersey Men's League, the New Jersey Women's Platform Tennis League, PPAC Private, Pure Hockey, Skinletics, UBS, Xenon, M4, Viking, Huengo Social, Center Court, Spiro, Harrison and Nelson, Courtside Rehab and Training, Equals 5, Grant Homes, Cisco, Susan Penny Parcels at Sotheby's, Jackson Lewis, Richard Wright from 1 Point BFG Wealth Partners, One Digital, Unity Jets, and Wealth Enhancement. I am Steve Sullivan here with Brad Easterbrook, bringing you this men's semifinal match between number 2 seeds Guillermo Nunez and Mark Powers versus number 3 seeds Graham McNerney and Adam Morgan. Brad, welcome to the stream.
Oh, excited to be here. This has been a terrific setup here put on by the whole Canoe Brook community and committee. Our umpire in the chair, Ron Borgatti, and of course we're going to be doing 2 out of 3 sets, no ad scoring with the server choosing who gets to receive that point. Quick look at our players there: Graham McNerney and Adam Morgan, our 3 seeds, and Guillermo Nunez and Mark Powers. And this is a good heavyweight match. This is their 3rd meeting this year. They split the first 2. But coming into this event, it's been like not the same year. McNerney and Morgan had that amazing win at Nationals last year, changed the scoring system. It definitely affected them a little bit.
Yeah.
And, you know, because they are one of the teams that will work long points. And when you get to deuce, they'll do it more and more. So they work that mental side, the conditioning side as well. And in some ways, I think it affected them a little. But their run here, and he also got hurt a little, Graham McNerney, towards the season and Short Hills and right in there. But coming back in, he's feeling great. And they've had a terrific and amazing run here at Nationals. So, if anything, all this Nationals has done is boost their confidence and give them positivity coming into this match here with Nunez and Powers. Conversely, it's not that anything negative has happened with Nunez and Powers, but they've had a road to get here. 3 sets against Bosserman and Anderson, and a tough, probably the toughest draw in the tournament. And Murphy and Schneider, 3 sets.
Down 3-0 in the 3rd.
Down 3 on the right against Murphy and Schneider. And, you know, they got to, and they're down 4-3, 40 love, win that game. And then at that point, that was sort of the backbreaker against Murphy and Schneider. And they took it 6-4. Down 6-3 in the first set with Russell Benkeim playing at a relatively otherworldly level. And Gabe Friedrich, who has been on the tour for a while now, and people in the know how good he is.
Yeah, he and Yancey Dennis played a lot together.
But he's an exceptional player, and they gave them all they could handle in the next round. They righted the ship, won the second set 7-6, and then squeezed it out in the 3rd. But the spins that, you know, Benkeim, I think it actually shell-shocked Powers and Nunez to start with, and then they competed really well. But there's no way, when you compare roads to where they're at now, Nunez and Powers are much more battle-tested. Or you can also make the other argument that they're more battle weary, right?
Yeah.
You know, and we'll see if that plays in effect. You see Powers bouncing up and down in there. So we're looking forward to a great heavyweight battle here. And, I mean, how do you see this one?
Yeah, it's interesting. So you talked about the new scoring system, no ad, right? Sudden deuce, server's choice. Yeah, the chatter around the tour this year is that maybe McNerney and Morgan are that one team that don't love the change. They played, I think you called at least one of their 5-hour matches.
Both of their 5-hour matches,
so they, you know, Graham McNerney is always that person. You watch him play, and he's in no rush to go anywhere. He's very patient. He uses his body to sort of simply cover the court. He stands on top of the net. But, you know, he's a player we saw in earlier rounds. I called him in the quarterfinals. You know, he's playing a little more, right? They're forced to sort of play. He's been hitting his forehand a little bit. I like them playing this week. I think they've, you know, come into form a little bit. Short Hills, we talked about it. They played Garcia Nieto and Quintana. word was Graham was a little bit, not in his game physically. Came back and they won that match again, right? They revenged that loss from Short Hills in this tournament. So, yeah, I like the competitiveness, but Nunez and Powers played great to withstand, like you said, the barrage of firepower from Russell Benkheim. They played very steady, and at times they played perfectly. Nunez went to another level like he always, seems to be able to find.
He was rock solid at that match.
So they have had, a couple back and forth matches this year, but they've both been quick. 2-1, 3-2. So I'm not sure if this is going to go into this sort of epic.
It's almost hard to even
stakes.
read a lot into it from the two matches they played.
Yeah.
In the first round, I will have to say it did not look like Nunez and Powers were right, and they got dusted very simply and easily by McNerney and Morgan. Second match.
That was Aronimink, yeah.
Yeah, and Aronimink. And the second match they played, clearly McNerney and Morgan were, I want to say, almost like lacking in confidence or in a bad space. They had a couple of mixed results, and Powers and Nunez just took them out.
Yeah, semis of Boston, right? That Grand Prix.
Yeah, and we're going to see right now, and this is Nationals. This is the last one of the year here, so we'll see where everybody's at right now. And we're looking forward to a great heavyweight battle, against two of the top teams in the country.
Yeah, so this is going to be exciting. I think, we will see that you see the stands behind and you see a stand set up. This is called Stadium Number 2. There's 2 courts they built for Nationals. They've done this the last few years. They did it at Philly Cricket. They did it at the Country Club in Brookline. It's a really nice setup, and it will get packed, right? We have another women's semi playing on the other court, and, I predict in the next, 30 to 45 minutes, the stands will be full. There's open bars, there's food trucks, there's a lot of energy and excitement, a lot of different VIP areas. So Canoe Brook and the committee have put on a tremendous event this weekend, and yeah, the fans are getting their money's worth.
Oh, without a doubt. And on top of that, the Powers fan club and the Nunez fan club, they took a party bus to the city. You'll see it on the side. You're going to hear some momentary screaming. They're going to be respectful about it, like not scream on the airs, but there's a whole party bus of fans rooting for Nunez and Powers out there. And I'm sure McNerney and Morgan have their fans too, but they didn't bus them in from New York City.
Yeah, so I'm sort of looking, one of the X factors, we talk about the slow play, the willingness to play for 3, 4, 5 hours by McNerney and Morgan. But one of those things that tends to get very, energized is the play of Adam Morgan, right? He plays very actively. He swings away on his ground strokes. He uses his body. And, he's one of the people that I think could be a difference maker in this match. I think we know what we're going to get from McNerney. He's going to play incredibly steady. He's going to get on top of the net. He's going to use that sort of waterfall overhead into the deuce court, sort of trapping Nunez into the side screen. But, Morgan could be that person who sort of brings a different level and excitement to the game and, maybe tries to, push a little bit more offense than they otherwise would.
Well, I would say in last year's final, that Morgan was the MVP.
Yeah.
And they were bringing him in there, and he didn't miss a drive. Anything that came, he wouldn't see 10 balls. Then as soon as he saw one, boom, pounced on it.
And he uncorks,
and he
right? He gets all his body into it. He gets his energy into it, yeah.
He's a coiled spring, Morgan, and he's always ready, and it's one of his greatest strengths. And he can keep going, keep being ready, even if he doesn't see 10 balls in a row. But what they're trying to do, a lot of teams nowadays, is make sure that Morgan doesn't get the ability to pick away at you, because he hits that thumper drive. But when he gets to do 2, 3 drives in a row, that's when he excels the most. So if you can make him hit one and then be done, and then kind of be able to shift it back, I think that's what teams are trying to do right now. Make sure he can't get like in a rhythm or a barrage of drives to put pressure on. It's going to looking forward to a great match here. We're going to see how these guys take it away.
That earlier match, we talked about the sort of the barrage from Russell Benkheim. It was very interesting how Powers and Nunez.
Ladies and gentlemen,
let's listen to Ron Borgatti here, our chair umpire.
welcome to the 2026 APTA Nationals. This is one of your semifinal matches. To my right, from Chicago, Illinois, Graham McNerney. His partner from Lake Bluff, Illinois, Adam Morgan. To my left, from New York City, New York, Guillermo Nunez. His partner from New York, New York, Mark Powers. McNerney, Powers. Nunez won the toss. And our receiving, you guys are receiving, right? Okay. So they're serving.
A double change, spin, defer,
Redefer.
side, look at the look
Right.
for the sun, defer again.
Yeah, it's
I
been
didn't mean that.
perfect weather out there, so it looks like McNerney and Morgan will take us out. And perfect paddle weather. You know, it's about 45 degrees. It's like 50 degrees actually, but it feels colder. Like there's no sun. It's a little moist. It's got this raw feeling to it. But the ball is biting on the spins. The spins are going to work for whoever's going to take them. And, you know, there's definitely a lot of pressure you can still put out there against these teams. Also, you can easily transition back because it's plenty warm. And none of the players are going to reach for a volley, or they shouldn't be reaching for a volley. They're going to miss when they know they can just go back and get it off the back screen.
Yeah, the ball feels like watching the ball's bouncy, right? It's really coming well off the back screen. So, yeah, it'll be interesting. The match before this, I mentioned before, Nunez and Powers started out that match just competing. And at some point, Russell Bentheim took it to another level. And what they did to neutralize him is they just sort of decided when they were going to introduce him into the point. They went at Friedrich a good bit. Gabe played a great match. Defensively, he played
solid,
great.
yeah.
He played really solid, mixed it up. But then they sort of decided when Bentheim was going to play. So that's Graham McNerney here kicking us off.
And he starts it off with a fault. All right, so once again, really quickly, Graham McNerney serving, his partner at the net. Adam Morgan receiving serve, Mark Powers. And Guillermo Nunez about to receive serve right now on the deuce court, the lefty. Yeah, unique to McNerney's abilities are very tall. His ability to hit down-up waterfall type overheads from much further in the court than pretty much any other player on the tour that I can think of. When he uses that, he'll even use a middle waterfall. Yeah, right there is the one, but not to that one's to the side.
Yeah, he can do a lot of different things. I think that's 3 different shots. You know, he can generate spin. That's a little bit of vintage Mark Powers. He's going to be looking for that ball.
Good work there, drawing him in, pushing it long and through the court. And Morgan has a unique volley style. It's not quiet or clean. Powers 2 huge moves up the wire. He's looking for the up-down overheads, and that's a tough transition ball there. Powers on the net, basically slap shots that volley past Morgan, who has no chance of making that next shot.
Yeah, really nice start. You can see Mark Powers looking to get his legs engaged. He's, yeah, he's got all the weapons, but nice to see him right out of the gate looking for those opportunities.
And you should be able to hear it on your live stream at home. There's music in the background. We are hitting party central mode here. They've done such a good job. There's free food and beer for all the for all the people watching here. And this is the most packed Nationals I've ever been to. The stands are completely full. The parking lot is completely full.
Yeah, the women's semis earlier. Last night, you know, the crowds have been pretty electric. Both the tent and the parking lot's full. You mentioned there's multiple bars and VIP areas, and yeah, I think the Canoe Brook, committee that put this together spent a lot of time thinking about fan experience. There's so many different areas for both sponsors and VIPs and volunteers, and obviously the APTA and the committee. So yeah, this club's been taken over by paddle this weekend, but yeah, pretty exciting environment. So this is sort of the first point that both teams look like they're sort of slowing it down. Powers Nunez got the transition in her.
Oh, tough low drive there. And he hits like the one-handed shovel there. He'll use that here and there. He doesn't get his face in the right direction. You see him practicing it here. Pushes it long. Good leave there by Nunez. But of all the drives Morgan's going to hit, that's the one you'd want.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting on the season, and we're going to see these guys battle that out here, how we saw these lopsided results for these guys against each other. Powers with the move.
Third.
And that's his third move in one game. So as much as McNerney is good at hitting these down-up waterfalls, Powers is looking for it right now. He's going to have to put that in his pocket first and set him up down the road. Tremendous play there as he just one-times that backhand. And I literally think Morgan just turned around and the ball was already by him.
Yeah. So you joined Guy Moore and I for a second, Brad, during that quarterfinal match, and I think the comment I made at the time was Mark Powers hasn't yet gotten his biggest
Yeah, he has
level.
more to offer in the match.
And I think
Yep.
there was a lot happening coming from a lot of different directions, and he played a great match. He played an incredibly solid, typical Mark Powers match. But this first game is like, okay, I'm coming from the beginning. I'm going to bring it right away. I'm going to be looking for opportunities, and maybe I'm going to dictate and sort of push McNerney and Morgan on their heels from the get-go. So great start from Mark Powers.
Well, clearly what he did is he just took in mind that Graham McNerney loves to hit down-up overheads, and he hits more waterfalls than anyone else in the tour.
Yeah.
And probably more down-up, but he gets away with it because he's so good at dropping it down. But there, it was almost like he's got to be thinking about it now, McNerney. Okay, I got to really watch about this hit overhead. I got to be taking this away first and making sure Powers, because that's 3 in one game. I mean, that could be a whole set full of those types of shots. Great carve. And that's, of course, one of the big things we're going to watch out for is Nunez's ability to attack Morgan. And that was just right in the crease. And he didn't think it was going to pop and come back as much as it did. Great shot. Powers closes on that. Sees it. McNerney really good off the screen. A couple of early misses for Morgan. Still feeling out the drive. When he gets rolling, he's as consistent a driver as there is. Very little to chance with it. He's very flat. He just puts his paddle straight behind the ball. No spin at all.
Yeah.
Really. But also no window. There's nothing funky going out. He's literally right behind the paddle, right through the ball. Super consistent driver. And right now, not so much.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, look, he's got to feel it out. We saw Powers fly his first return on a high one. Then he makes the next 3 on 3 great moves. Nerdy's got to hit early. I mean, Morgan's got to find his rhythm. There you go.
Yeah, a couple uncharacteristic mistakes to give a quick 2-love lead. But yeah, I think if you're Adam Morgan, he got that one through the center there. If that's the thing that's going to make this team successful, you got to find it. Like, swing away, hit a couple. It's 2-0 in the first set. You know, I'm all for him finding that range, because if he doesn't find it,
there's no way they're going to win if Morgan's not hitting some good drives.
Yeah.
Right? He's going to have to do some damage with it. And that, you know, right now, there have just been a few mistakes and also tactical mistakes. If those overheads, those down-up overheads, go into Powers' screen, they're safe. They're good. They're fine. He's able to move it around. But Powers is jumping the route. He's throwing up the quick low lob, and then he's moving forward. Look at him again, forward. And they're doing this. They're doing the 1-2 punch. Powers moves forward. Nunez covers behind. And if Powers can't get it, he usually has to overhit the ball to the side screen, McNerney, which means that it's coming off to a high forehand.
Wow, look at that move.
For Nunez. And they're working that perfectly, and it's a great combination because it does exactly what they want. They're taking away the down-up overhead, and either way, they're getting a good look.
Yeah, brilliant lob by Mark Powers, sort of setting up that 1-2 punch.
All right, so great start here for Powers and Nunez.
I think we have a shot of Amin Kadori right behind with the APTA.
And there it is again. So, and again, Powers loves it because this is what they're looking for there. That one just kind of somehow it climbed on top of Nunez. He just didn't get a look, but that's the look. Either Powers can one-time it, or Nunez has got the high forehand off the back. Here it is again. Powers isn't going to react. He's going to look for it. So good, so smart. And unless McNerney and Morgan start to read this pattern here, this is going to hurt him in the long run. They're going to get a lot of looks, Powers and Nunez. See, in the first game, they were all Powers looks because he didn't hit him as hard. Now he's hitting them harder. They're going to be Nunez's looks.
Yeah, he's, Powers is somewhat just taking the shot away, right? Obviously 3 quick in the first game. And you're right, that ball comes back hard, and Nunez is going to potentially be in pole position.
No, he's going to be right in the middle looking for the high forehand, and anything pops out too much.
Right, he's a lefty, right?
Right,
So
the lefty in there, high forehand, a la the Drew Broderick, he can hit it like a tomahawk chop. He can hit it like a high forehand down. And when Nunez gets to hit the ball down, he's moving forward. And as good as McNerney is at blitzing and all that stuff in net play, McNerney's one of the best in the country.
Yeah, great move there by
McNerney.
McNerney.
Just to talk about how good McNerney is at the lob and blitz or the blitz play, that was phenomenal. Good move. And Nunez didn't see it coming. He looked up, volley was behind him. Smart lob there. Powers, can he dig it? No, he cannot. That's just amazing hands from McNerney.
40-30.
Yeah, let's take another look. I like McNerney Morgan getting a little bit of energy to have, they need something to get a little spark. They look a little flat to start. They've made a couple too many errors, so.
Oh, this would be a great hold, down low 30 in this game. Yeah, they're working the play where Morgan's mostly staying back and looking to see who can cut the ball off. Cut, cut, cut. So perfect.
Impossible.
So perfect.
Just laid it there. You can show that as early as you want if it's unreturnable. All right.
Oh, yeah, he knew it was coming.
Yeah.
Just had no shots. All right, so our first sudden deuce. They're going to go to Nunez. Powers, almost
little
snuck it behind him there.
Yeah.
I actually like what Nunez did there. He expected the cutoff, so he went at McNerney. Now, it didn't work. McNerney was right there, but you got to make McNerney think about it. See, there's the play again. If he hits it hard at all, Powers letting it go. If he doesn't, he's looking to go up the wire and attack. Perfect setup there, but they're still getting a
just
decent
made
look.
it on the sideline.
Yeah, perfect shot from Morgan in the fist pump.
Morgan
Yeah, they need that. They need something to get them going.
leads the first set 2-1.
All right, time to talk about one of our great sponsors, Land Rover. And today's event is proudly sponsored by Land Rover Parsippany. Experience exceptional service and luxury performance. Visit LandRoverParsippany.com. And we'll look forward to having an interview later with Nicole Siminowitz from Land Rover. Talk a lot about their company and the community involvement they have. They've been here for 40 years. So we'll look forward to doing that as this match progresses. One of our great sponsors.
Just what they needed. McNerney and Morgan were sort of flat. They needed a little bit of a spark. A couple points, had a lot of energy, and it was sort of the perfect snapback.
Yeah, it actually felt like it was all of a sudden it was love 30 in that game, and it felt like things were draining. They were going to down love 3 in a heartbeat, and a couple of big moments there. Big exchange, quick blitz from McNerney, and it just sort of feels like what a weight lifted and some energy in the room there for Morgan and McNerney right now. He's spinning him, though, and he's working him side to side, switching the backcourt, and that'll help. But now he's got the ability to go both sides. Love that drop shot. Oh, great get. Blitz coming. Yeah, you could feel her energy almost raise.
Yeah, for sure. Stands are definitely filling up.
Little Elton John in the background.
Yeah, man, we're in the middle of it. Some events, sometimes you get into a Saturday night and there's music and there's a bar. The fans here, they're glued to the paddle. They're going to the bar, they're coming back. They're going to get something to eat, they're listening to music, but they're coming back. So, yeah, great scene out there.
Great leave there from Nunez. Yeah, a couple of good gets. That was a good tricky drop there and a good get from Morgan. What a fantastic volley that was. Shoelace. Working over Morgan. We'll see if we see the switch in the backcourt at some point. Good slap shot there. Oh, that's a tough one.
Yeah, I mean, as tall as he is and as low as that ball was, I don't mind the thought, but I don't think he was there for it.
Well, the point is he ends up, it's just a bad decision at the last second. He's slap shotting it, which means he's trying to hit it right at their body, but he was nowhere near. It's almost like he was guessing where they were going to go. It was nowhere near Nunez or Powers. And that shot had zero chance of going in. It means he's hitting it right at their body. But again, when you hold it like that, you're waiting for the guy to move. And when he doesn't, your best play is just to lob it.
30-15.
That ball didn't come out as far as Nunez thought. Tried a little scoop.
40-15.
I think that was a little bit in between Graham McNerney. I wasn't sure if he was going to sort of push it back or actually he's been hitting some forehands, not as much on the return, but.
Yeah, no, he's been working on it, and it's better, but it's still not the bread and butter of his game, right? You know, and it actually, in some ways, sometimes it goes how it goes. It gets streaky. Like he'll have a good run with it, then I'll miss like 3 or 4.
Nunez, Powers, they lead the first set 3-1.
Yeah, some great volleying and a couple of tough, good shots there. They're just volleying. They volley so well, Nunez and Powers.
Yeah, Guillermo Nunez's volleys have gotten. Mark Powers' volleys are always have been great, but Nunez, he's got great hands, but his volleys are getting much more solid and effective from a pace perspective.
And he'll love that play where he'll just move in the court, even on a weak ball. Like just to, if you come at him, he wants to lob volley. He wants to make things move quickly.
Love.
All right, McNerney Morgan sort of started slow, but they've definitely found their footing now.
40-15.
Going for this is actually a lot of quicker points than these guys are moving a lot more balls, hitting a lot of bigger shots. There's a lot faster play. It's not slow played at all at this point.
Yeah, Nunez is one of those players who likes to play. He likes to compete. I think the slow play frustrates him, so I think they're going to play. And if Morgan and McNerney are willing to sort of play at that speed and that tempo, I'm not sure it's in their best interest, but yeah. Oh,
that's the one shot that we don't want to have at all. So, but there's the play we've talked about 5 times. First game, Powers takes 3 of them. Every single time, has he gotten one since? No. But who's getting them now?
Yeah.
Nunez, right? And that's where it's going to work. And he's going to have to be careful with just, I mean, he might have to stay away from that as much. That was a perfect little cutter there. Cut overhead slash drive, if you will, from the backcourt. And if they take that away from McNerney, it's one of the tools he uses. You know, he loves the hard third panel slam, the hard waterfall. If they get rid of that so that the middle is patrolled there by Nunez, it makes all the difference in the world. Oh, beautiful.
Look at the reaction by Graham McNerney. Okay, he had both shots. They hit the top of the net and obviously ended the point. But, yeah, those are...
Either way, though, both those shots are coming off the screen too much.
They're going to come anyway, yeah.
So he gets the leg court. It's lucky, but either way. All right, so a sudden death point here.
Not to only state the obvious, but this sudden deuce point feels like it means a lot at this point to sort of keep this set competitive.
Well, it certainly does to Morgan and McNerney.
Yeah.
Powers Nunez, they're up 3-1. So there's no question. But it's also the way it feels, too. Like, it feels like they're getting robbed. 2 leg courts in a row, right? Gotta love Adam Morgan.
Just
That's
missed.
long. What a great play. And Morgan comes with 2 huge volleys in huge spots. All right, a quick read for one of our great sponsors, Corient. And Corient is the official well sponsor of the APTA's 2025-2026 season. Corient is a fee-only wealth manager who puts their clients at the center of everything they do. And to learn more, go to corient.com. And we are going to now welcome in Nicole Simonowitz from Land Rover Parsippany. Nicole, welcome to the booth.
Thank you, guys. It's nice to be here.
Well, it's terrific having you, and we want to thank Land Rover Parsippany for their great, ability to sponsor us here. And why don't you talk a little bit about Land Rover Parsippany first?
Sure, of course. So Land Rover Parsippany, we are part of the Paul Miller Auto Group. We are very proudly coming into Land Rover's 40th year of business and Paul Miller Group's 50th year, which we're going to be celebrating big time.
Wow.
Yep, we are still family owned and operated, which is one of the most lovely things about us. We truly value relationships and longevity with not just our sales department, but our service department, and we put the customers first.
Well, that's terrific to hear. 40 years, that's amazing.
Thank you.
And 40 years part of the community. So what makes Land Rover Parsippany different from other luxury retailers?
Of course. So luxury is frankly everywhere. It's everywhere you look as far as this this area is concerned, but what we offer is experience. Like I said, we've been here 40 years. Our amazing staff are so knowledgeable at what they do, not just sales, but service as well. We have 28 bays. We have amazing technicians who are certified A-level techs. And basically, we also have a big team of customer service representatives like myself who really go above and beyond to make sure that everybody is happy with their purchase and their service and they feel taken care of, understood, and heard.
Oh, that's wonderful. Now, it seems like there's a strong performance theme here. Do you see any parallels between the platform tennis that you're sponsoring here and the Land Rover vehicles?
Absolutely, yes. It's really performance meets performance here. We are all-weather capable vehicles. We are about precision and endurance, and that is exactly the kind of athlete that we are so proud to be sponsoring here today with the APTA. We play in all-weather, and so do you guys.
That's great. I love that. All right, you brought an incredible lineup of vehicles out here at the tournament. Can you tell us what we're seeing out here at the tournament?
Absolutely. So the first and most amazing vehicle that we have, it is the Defender APTA, which is the most luxurious Defender that is out on the market right now. And the APTA actually comes from the diamond facet sort of idea here that we are hard as rocks and luxury as anything.
Love it.
Now, I believe I was in there doing car karaoke before.
Yes.
Was that the APTA Defender? That was
the APTA.
Beautiful car, Nicole.
Thank you. Yep, the sound system in that is pretty fancy as well.
Yes, we were doing Girls Just Want to Have Fun.
And they do. They really do.
They really do. From personal experience, you're telling us.
I am.
Now, your dealership, and you've known to be very active in the community here. Tell us about some of the events that you guys have hosted at Land Rover Parsippany.
Absolutely. So in the last year, we've really spearheaded a community outreach program with the events that we've been doing. In the summer, we did our very first one, which was a pet adoption, and we partnered with Mount Pleasant Animal Shelter for that. We've done a paint and sip, which was for Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and we had so many people come out dressed to the nines in pink to support the cause and to be at the event. Lastly, we did a book trek in, I believe it was December. We donated 5,000 books to a children's hospital to make sure that everybody had stories to read.
Oh, that's tremendous. You know, reading is fundamental.
It is.
But
truly.
it seems like you guys create experiences just beyond selling vehicles. Is that intentional?
It is. We want to make sure that we are not just transactional. We value the relationships between the customers, not just at Land Rover, but at all the Paul Miller dealerships. We want to create real connections. Anybody can host a sales event, anybody can come and buy a car, but when the same people keep coming back to do the fundraisers, to adopt pets, to continue the celebrations. It's meaningful, it builds trust and loyalty and friendships, and that's one of the things that I'm most proud of, is the relationship that we're building with the community.
Well, we're proud to have you guys as sponsors here, and it's amazing all the work you do within the community. If someone wanted to get involved or connected with you, what should they do?
Absolutely. We would love, love, love that. We've got a table here in the vendor tent, so stop by and say hello. You can also visit us at our showroom in Parsippany. We'd love to connect and, you know, come to a community event. We've got a website that shows you what we've done and what's coming next.
Well, definitely after this match, when Steve and I are done, I'm taking him in that Defender APTA, and we're gonna do a little ABBA Dancing Queen, Steve.
I'm in.
And you're 100%
Yeah.
in. Nicole,
I'm in.
Nicole, you're gonna join
I'll
us?
be in the back. I'll be rocking out with you guys.
Simonowitz, thank you
We're
so
gonna
much.
stream it.
Guys, thank you. It's been a pleasure, truly.
Thanks,
Land
Michelle.
Rover Parsippany, everybody, one of our great sponsors here. Thank you again.
Thank you.
Well, nice interview. Nice to get one of our big sponsors some, you know, highlight here. They're up on the screen, Land Rover Parsippany. And oh, by the way, we've played 2 points, as you've been talking to
exactly.
Michelle.
Oh, no. By the
so-
way, as an aside,
So the tempo of this match slowed way down, right? And it's interesting. It's not clear who slowed it down. I mean, we have Nunez and Powers serving. They're at the net. They're sort of a little bit dictating what's happening. But yeah, it just missed. This is the second point that just finished. So that was one completed point. That was the second point. We talked for a minute, and it's interesting, you know, if it's Nunez and Powers who are trying to sort of lay back a little bit, is that the right approach?
yeah, it's hard. I think they can do it both ways more, but I would say they've made a few too many errors in the first game. So slowing it back is good for them too. They're missing a few balls. And, you know, a couple of drives or a couple of loose balls here and there. Both teams need to cut those out. McNerney and Morgan specifically made 2 huge volleys on sudden death points. And that's really the difference in the match. You know, they started out loose. I mean, difference meaning the Powers and Nunez could be up 5-0 in this match, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And it's not. And all the energy that's come from there has kind of given this match a new shape.
Yeah, we talk a lot about that sudden deuce point and how it can make a difference. And, you know, we'll get into more statistics with court director and sort of see things like point differential. But, yeah, that's a huge sort of change in momentum. Just to give, you know, that's not going anywhere. That's not going anywhere. I mean, he came around the side of that. I'm not sure for a second. Let's take another look. McNerney thought it may come back a little bit. He
was hoping it was going to hit the side
and
screen and the spin was going to shoot out, but it was so well hit. That was perfect. He's not getting he wouldn't get it in a Land Rover APTA either. Yeah, tougher setup there, though, as he's coming in. Before there, on the one before, he was already set at the net.
Yeah.
He's transitioning in here. So, you know, as of now, you know, in this matchup, we did see Nunez and Powers in their, you know, round of 32 against Anderson and Bostrom. Lose a set 6-4, but win more points than Anderson Bostrom. They won 28 points to 25, and they lost the set because they lost 2-3 all, two sudden death games, and they only converted 1 out of 7 break points. So it was a unique set. This one doesn't have the same feel, but if they did come back, it feels like that. These 2 games that they lost at sudden death are looming large.
Yeah,
this set could be over for them.
Yeah, and we're going to go to a new ball. So I think it's traditionally every 7 games. They count the warm-up as a game, so they're hitting a couple balls here. You talked about the weather. Temperature, cloud cover during the day. It's sort of perfect. It is a little humid out there, just the moisture. There's a snow melt going on.
Yeah.
It just feels wet. And
I wouldn't be surprised if they turn these heaters on soon, or if they haven't been on half the day, because as the temperature drops a little, we might get some moisture coming on the court. What a great shot from Morgan there. Heavy and up the line. It looked like Nunez started up the line, but that thing right in the crease and just ricocheted out of there.
Yeah, so he was coming back from the middle of the court where he had drifted. I think they're going to probably take those nicks away. These teams are so accurate, being able to hit it towards the nick. But yeah, Nunez was covering a lot of court there.
Look at that. Morgan mixing it up. Morgan
hits
is
him
fearless.
in the head.
Yeah.
I think he sort of tried to time. He knew
He
that
tried
ball was
to
going
time it
springboard.
perfectly.
Let's
Yep.
take another look at it. It's sort of interesting. Yeah, he wanted to get to that side screen, and he turns and just sort of misjudges how that ball's coming at him.
Yep, you're exactly right. He wanted to. He knew it was going to shoot straight to his right, so he was trying to leave as little space as possible, but not quite enough. That was a great shot there from Nunez. And there again's the move, and there's the shot, but they're doing a great job closing it off.
Yeah.
Well done there from Morgan.
30,
As
15.
Nunez and Powers are getting their look there, but he might spot it differently because what's happening too is Powers is up the side wire. Nunez is now in the middle hitting that drive. No coverage behind him.
Easier to hit that ball cross court away from Nunez. The other option's at Graham McNerney, who's probably knees on the net, right? So, yeah.
Yeah, so
not a lot of great options to hit that ball.
But I love what Morgan is done with that. If he closes off the net, he just has to angle his paddle to the side, and it's literally a block for a win. Great job and great response to the Nunez-Powers strategy. You know, because outside of that first game, those are the only 3 we've seen him get, right? And of the ones Nunez has hit off that back wire, probably less than 50% right now have really worked well for him. Great shot into the side wire.
40, 30.
And this is the key for McNerney at this point. They just got to hang around, and when there's a little dip in what happens when Nunez Powers string together a good one, or maybe they'll get a couple of let courts like Nunez Powers did in one game. That's hammered.
Yeah, he's going to hit it.
Yeah, I think it was a mistake to come in there. That was easily just tattooed by Morgan.
4 games to 3.
All right, so the other men's semifinal on Stadium 1 has taken the court. Regalado and Salazar versus Ethan Leon and Matt Moyo. Yeah, just a point into that match. Another exciting semifinal, a nice sort of progression to a big stage for Leon and Moyo, who have really, hit the scene this year as a, week in and week out team that's competing for, getting deeper in the draws. Women's final is set. We had Lopez and Page just edge out Elliott and Lalich 6-1, 6-4. They're going to play Hallbauer and Zabori in the finals tomorrow morning.
And they really read that ship. That second set got dicey, and they locked it down and took it down. So kudos to them.
A little bit of a longer change over here. Both teams toweling off, getting some water, getting refreshed. Obviously, it feels like a big sort of pivot point. Yeah, good look there at Mark Powers.
Yeah, they just got to keep holding serve. Obviously, Nunez and Powers here, but it's totally different from that initial feel, and it really started with that one game at 2-Love, where everything was kind of going right for Nunez and Powers, and they're down love 30, and you felt like the set's already getting away from them. And Morgan with a huge volley, and they bring it to the deuce game, and they win it. And now it's just been back and forth. Yeah, the one thing that really, that's the shot there, that sort of dump it right in there, where, to McNerney, almost to bait him to try to drive off the deck. I haven't seen a ton of that yet, but it is sort of available to them. Tough one there from Morgan. He wants it back.
15 all.
Oh, dink, dink. Around the post? No. He didn't have enough room to get his paddle underneath it to hit it, so Goods wisely just lobs it up.
30, 15.
Yeah, 2 loose forehands by McNerney and Morgan these last 2 points. You do all that to get back in the point, to chase down, both McNerney and Morgan had to, run a lot of yards for that point. So yeah, tough way to end it.
you know, maybe it's a commitment to them, though, to try to create more, right? They are switching. You know, Powers and Nunez are switching from the left to the right. He feels like he's got a look and some empty space to do it. But it's not really his MO, right? Hitting shots on the run, the running forehand. His MO has always been control with the lob, get a blitz when he can, and move your pieces around the court and set up Adam Morgan. All right, this is a big point here.
Yeah, you can see him taking a little bit of time, making sure they're aligned.
Oh, what a volley. Oh, what a volley.
Just enough to throw him off. I mean.
Yeah, Powers is
30, 40.
very frustrated to miss that. He's just shocked it came over, and he didn't get away from enough. Didn't give him the right space, and he nets it. So good opportunity for McNerney and Morgan. 2 break points. And this is exactly the game they wanted. You know, there's some good points. They threw in 2 loose hits, but we have a fault and that miss there to offset it. Great dig. That's a wicked drive. Can he dig it? He does.
Nice spot there. Yeah, great anticipation by Adam Morgan.
These are really good balls. Nice digs here. They get it back to neutral. Well done. He's going to, oh, I thought he was going to take a hit there. Jumping waterfall to the low cutter drop. Ooh, looks like the drop. All right, great pressure from McNerney and Morgan. Powers Nunez hanging in there with the defense. That's trouble. Powers.
Yeah, let's see if they switch back.
Wow. They're working them.
Yeah, feels like Mark wants that.
Beautiful setup. Well, it's a perfect setup.
Yeah.
And what really set it up was Nunez faked the drive on the one before, and he caught Morgan actually coming in. I mean, moving in, and then the lob made him weak. And then Powers comes in and cleans up the action, and he was out of sorts. Beautifully done. 1 break point saved. They're going to go in here
again.
Yeah, and it's 2 games to 0 for McNerney and Morgan in the Southern Deuce. Beautifully covered. Heavy chase. What a shot.
Yeah, it's hands, all hands by Mark Powers. Wills that ball over the net. Lecourt. Oh, it's going to be
That's insane. I actually think McNerney thought, no way is he doing that.
The
Look at this.
after-point look.
Look at this. This is crazy that he even thinks to do this.
And I don't know that he let it go. He kind of showed his shoulder like he was, yeah, what a great spot.
I honestly think, Steve, that he was shocked that it was that brazen to even go for that shot.
Yeah.
He just flicked it softly to the side, and McNerney's coming right to the middle. I don't think he did anything wrong. Crazy, crazy shot, and what a big moment, too. Nunez Powers get their first sudden deuce game at a big moment when McNerney and Morgan really are starting to make their comeback a little.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, so good, that off-pace ball there.
Yeah, I mean, he gave him back exactly what he got. So it's, you know, Nunez has had that a couple times. It was successful. A couple times it wasn't successful. They cut it off with the Adam Morgan volley. That one, Graham McNerney just gave him back what he got. So nice energy for the crowd. Yeah.
That's probably exactly how that one felt. I've been there. Yeah, he's just trying a basic shot he's made 3,000 times, and he's slightly further back than he maybe thought. He just miscalculates. Simple overhead missed.
30-15.
Yeah, they're playing quick enough. I mean, they're like, there's enough errors on both sides for either team to work with if they just tighten it up. I love that. He serves and stays back. He threatens to come in, but then he moves back. A smart play to keep him guessing a little bit.
There's one of the, I mean, he is hitting this forehand a little bit more, not trying to win the point with it, just trying to sort of keep the variability and keep the other team guessing, but it's been pretty effective.
Well, one of the things that Graham McNerney, when he's at his top game, does really well is he does hit that three-quarter drive, right? You know, and he sort of keeps you off balance with it. Like he pushes up a lob, and he does it from a similar type motion that he pushes the lob with. And when he gets firing on all cylinders, he can use that very effectively. The way teams try to get rid of it is they slow the ball down so much that he has to create all the pace himself. When he has no pace to work with, it's when he's at his best, and people sort of realize that. And that's why he started to try to develop more of the attacking forehand. Morgan's got an easy transition drive, and Powers goes
really
for all or
setting up off the
nothing.
back. Yeah, those
All
balls
or
are sitting
nothing.
up high off the back screen.
Yeah, Powers, when he gets that close, he's got to angle his face down. He just had it facing the wrong way, and he kind of gave it a swing. Although I'm not even sure I would have come in on that. That ball's an easy look.
Coming in hot, yeah.
Yeah, dig. Love that call where he says you, and he says nobody. That means it's a possible blitz ball, and nobody's coming into blitz. And there's the watch out. And in all cases, they've done a great job neutralizing the blitz plays from Nunez and Powers.
Powers leads the first set, 5-4.
Yeah, that's the right. Once you see Nunez moving back, he's vulnerable, right? You want to put it at his kneecaps, at his ankles, somewhere where he's not going to have any sort of stability underneath him. Good look there, one of the VIP decks behind Stadium Court 2.
Yeah, they have phenomenal courtside seating here for everybody out there. And as you were mentioning before, Steve, there's a bar right behind. And behind both courts, so now you get perfect viewing of both the Leon Moyo match against Regalado Salazar and also Nunez Powers against McNerney Morgan.
Yeah, we are a quick 3-love. Regalado Salazar leading that first set on that other Stadium Court.
Yeah, Regalado Salazar, without a doubt, feel like a team on a mission this season.
Yeah, they're the team to beat. They're the team that's, okay, number one. They number 1 and 2 in the APTA Cup for sort of the most points, the points race during the season. They've been sort of right there. They've had some sort of heartbreaking losses to Nunez and Powers, you know, the Country Club 2 years ago. So, yeah, they've been right there. I think they're people feel they're due, but you still got to play the matches. You still got to win it, and both of these teams are sort of capable of
15 love.
beating them on any given day.
Great job there. He's getting Morgan to chase. He makes that shot a lot, but it's still he's got to chase to get it. It's kind of what they're looking to try to do. Now, I believe Nunez is, you know, probably the leader in holding serve percentage, or he's right up there. So it bodes well here for these guys. They need to close this set out. They don't want to give them life. They've been able to stay ahead. Huge no-ad game that they closed out last time. 2 break points for McNerney and Morgan.
Oh, that one stayed low.
Yeah, a great job there from nice pickup. So good at just setting his paddle down. McNerney, super fit. And for a guy who's like 6'5", he's one of the best in the country at getting a ball when it's like an inch off the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah, McNerney's really trying to measure his lobs here. You can actually see him long finish it,
Yep.
push it to the side, push it to the up line. And he's going with height for time. Now, those are weak lobs, though, so we're going to get attacked. Good cutoff there from Morgan. Powers plays that one. He's been letting him go through. That's a no-look walkover.
Yeah, who wants to hit that?
I love
That's,
this.
how about the backhand
Those are
slap
good.
shot?
They were so nonchalant. Perfect. And he's walking like an inch from the net. And that's one of the things he can do because he's so tall. It gives him a little better range going back for the lobs. That was great.
Yeah, they're not really giving right now. Yeah, Mark Powers is using. That's a great placed shot.
Oh,
Another left
dig.
court.
Nice. Oh! And they've had great success in these transition plays. Powers gets him that time. He had a nice shot, too. Powers just made a quick, that forehand get there. He makes another leg cord there. And he does that stab forehand volley by Powers, and it just gets on him quickly. And McNerney got a little late in behind it. Great job. 30 love, Nunez Powers as they try to close out this first set. Dink. Yeah, oh, he missed it wide. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he missed it wide.
Yeah, called out by McNerney. It looked wide to us. And it was a good play. It was wide open, but I wonder if McNerney's presence sort of forced him to kind of push it even wider because McNerney has such a range. Oh, 30 all. And quickly, that one little miss leads
now
to
this
2
becomes a
quick
huge
points. Massive point here. Oh, goodness. He's just blocking it in play. Not even, he's being conservative. But he was also afraid of it going in the nick. And the ball hopped up on him. All right, 2 set points here for Nunez and Powers. Yeah, they're just sort of measuring it now. He's see if he can get a cut set up. Smart. Slow it down when you need to. Right at the crease. Good.
Yeah, textbook play by Adam Morgan, just sort of letting that ball play itself through the corner.
That was tight.
Yeah,
what a lob. Oh. Thought we might see a flippy backhand there from Adam Morgan jumping away from the volleys, yet he makes them
almost
all
airborne.
the time. All the time. He's the only guy with that style. He literally jumps backwards when he hits it. Can't tell. He's off the screen. Did that ball hit a seam? Didn't seem like a ball he would miss. All right, another sudden deuce game, and this set is being decided. It's our 4th one.
Yeah, a little conversation there in the middle. Mark says, sorry for taking that ball, but I like that he took it. But they need to create a little bit of balance at the beginning of this point and then sort of let Nunez roam about as he does to sort of go after that lefty. Yeah, these are a couple that Mark's taken that Guillermo has been taking.
Yeah, I mean, he's just pushing him in, and Nunez kind of doing the same, and then he'll decide. You know, it's not that Powers can't attack with his overhead, but the most damage does get done when Nunez has it, and that is just huge. Those couple of points right there, as it's 5-all now instead of 6-4. That is just a tremendous break of serve, and it almost like, just like that little moment right in there, and the thing just flips right around. 5-5.
Yeah, there we go. 5-all on the scoreboard. Yeah, tough. I'm not sure what exact shot he was hitting there, and there you see him maybe a little out of frustration. I'm not sure that's
I think he is, I mean, that time he just came at him, but he didn't come at him from a situation of offense. He's hitting the ball up into McNerney, and McNerney makes him pay. And this is what they don't need right now, you know, to actually get, they're only even, right? And but it does feel like they let him back, right? There's no question it feels like that, and there's no question they don't feel that way. What they got to do is just break it back and do what they do. Don't force or press.
Yeah, we had a 4-1 Nunez Powers, right? And then it's sort of 4-1 the other way.
No, it's 3-2.
Right. Yeah, 3-2.
It could have been.
Yeah, just a wild forehand.
30-15.
Almost like he didn't commit to it.
Nah, I think those are frustration balls. We got some chanting going on in the background. We're not really sure what it is, but it's definitely chanting.
No, he missed it. Oh, it hit him. Hit him in the foot.
Wow, crazy.
And his foot's in the green.
I think, was it? I got to see that again. I'd love to see a replay down the road. We'll see if we can capture that later. But I don't know if he was in or out. I think it was just cruising through the court. That's amazing. If he hit him while he was out, though, wow.
Yeah.
Good fortune. Drop. Powers makes
Great
the get.
Coverage.
Yeah.
You have to expect it, though. This is vintage Graham McNerney, that sort of on top of the net drop.
You know, they've taken the Powers forehand out of play. He's not getting a lot of damage done with it. They're moving the overheads around well. He got those first 3 in the first game on the down-up overheads. Haven't seen much since. They've had to grind. Oh, no. Huge volley again for McNerney. and it feels like the momentum is slipping
Yeah.
the other direction right now. And they have some confusion there. I think either one of them could have played it. Nunez thought Powers was going. Powers thought Nunez was going. Waited till the last second, couldn't come up with it. This could be the first lead of the match here for McNerney Morgan. And they lead 3-1 in the sudden deuce games. Yeah, I think the chanting I heard was just TNT song. It wasn't like from the crowd. It was full out AC/DC.
Yeah, that ball stayed in. Wow, Morgan's feeling it.
No, yeah, he's coming. And that is the first lead for McNerney Morgan. Double fist pumps from both of them.
It feels monumental from where they came from. Set's not over, but yeah.
It is. And there's definitely help along the way. And you can see the frustration on Powers' face as this thing just has slipped behind. They're not out of the set by any means, and they've been under a ton of adversity throughout the day, and they've competed really well. There's something that feels a little different about this one, though. They haven't done this yet, where they've had the set and sort of given it back. All right, first set, and again, we have 52% points won for Nunez Powers, and yet they lose the game, and it's the sudden deuce wins.
Yeah.
2-1 there. Massive. Otherwise, super close match. Longest point streak, 9 points, for Nunez Powers. But once they righted that, and all that streak there at the end, I think that came towards the right at the end there. And, for McNerney Morgan. So, again, Powers and Nunez had really the better of that set throughout it. And then in just a few crucial moments, it slipped away.
Yeah, so I think we're going to have Mark Powers serving from that far side.
Looked like a good conversation there between Nunez Powers. A little hand slap. Just get back at it. You got to have a short memory here. Now, there's no question, that it feels like they let that lead slip away. But at this point, the best thing you can do is just get back at it and win the set.
Yeah, just start playing more points. Exactly. That short-term memory. And now playing from the lead, McNerney and Morgan have the option of dictating pace a little bit and putting the pressure on Nunez and Powers to make things happen.
Yeah, Morgan's thumped a bunch of drives. There have been enough errors on both sides that kind of mixing it up. If one of these teams just tightens it up a little, they're going to come out to the, to the lead. But I feel like this thing is going to get down to a really tight type of match soon. Morgan, he's got a little flat-footed there. He had it, but he wasn't sure. And so he gave it a little pop with his paddle. I'm going to have to look it up, Steve, but if this thing goes to a tiebreaker, I might venture to say that Powers and Nunez have played more tiebreakers in this tournament than anyone else at this stage.
Killer, an absolute killer cutter backhand by Mark Powers.
Beautiful. Nothing to be done about that. I guess a lot better.
Yeah, McNerney made the first step effort, but yeah, shook his head. Too good.
Well, if they can get a nice, easy game here, this is exactly what Nunez Powers need. And that is exactly what they need. We're going to a breaker, though. But either way, it's sort of like a little bit of found money for McNerney Morgan. They're just going to wipe that game out.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter. We made some bad shots. Let's go. For that perspective, they're just lucky to be in the set.
Absolutely.
Now let's take advantage of it right now when we get to this tiebreaker.
That is such a tough waterfall to defend. Nunez is going to have to hit a lot more of those as this match goes on. Sort of vintage Graham McNerney. Just sticks on that side screen.
Oh, what a dig. He's working him, though. He is working him over, McNerney. Waterfall, waterfall. He can't get the lob up enough to get it back. There it is. Gets out of it. Good job, though. Good defense. And then Powers giving the short one, puts him back in the blender. Perfect point for McNerney. Vintage McNerney, Steve.
Yeah.
In the first set tiebreaker.
Just full control at that point.
Yeah. And they just couldn't get control of the lobs. And Nunez finally gets one up deep enough, and then Powers' short lob just goes right back at it. Just beautifully done there.
Yeah, another conversation here. I like the communication by Powers and Nunez. That's really good.
That is big time good. That almost came in, though. That was super close. It looked like it was going way out, and then it was like just maybe not even a ball's width out.
Made Adam Morgan chase that ball really high. Oh, that's another one.
Yeah, they're working him over pretty. They're getting errors. They're getting errors in there. They're working him. He's reaching for these balls. Yeah. And they're doing a good job getting it close enough to the corner. You might want to think about blocking some of them, or they might have to switch.
Yeah, they switched a couple games ago, and McNerney sort of got stuck over there and then stayed there to play a point. You know, the Nunez, that overhead can spin so many different degrees of, you know, one board, two board. And I think sometimes Adam Morgan's setting his feet a little bit early, and those balls that are moving a little bit more than he expects, he's just getting a little bit stuck.
You see Powers making the move up the wire again.
Yeah, this is...
Oh, he's really working those beautiful waterfalls in there.
The nightmare of Jason Quintana from yesterday. Must have hit 170 of them. And McNerney just kept going back, and Quintana did amazingly to sort of stay in a lot of those points. But McNerney, you could see it on his face. This is pleasure of like punishment. Oh, what a good try.
Morgan with the touch. And you don't think of Morgan. He doesn't get enough credit for the touch he shows on that volley. That's a lot of touch. He sees it coming, and he dinks it to the side around him.
Face early, yeah.
Gorgeous play.
All right, 2-all.
Yeah, that was a tremendous volley from Morgan. He's hit 3 massive volleys in this match. 2 to win sudden deuce games, and that one right there.
Yeah, that one got away from him, but he, saved himself.
Switch, there we go. Now we'll see if he lobs it cross court. Nunez has got that, right there. It's not quite short enough where he can get behind it and hit that long, low one to the ad side. But that'll be super effective if he gets it. good, shows the blitz, but stays back. Like that play. Right at the crease. Yeah, well played by Morgan.
Oh, look at that ball just jump off that back screen.
Man, he just does a really good job. See, the biggest difference in the defense there from McNerney to Morgan is McNerney's just so much more efficient. He lets it go, and he's got one step to make to it. Adam Morgan's taken 10, you know, to try to get that same ball some of the time. So it was a great switch in the backcourt there. 3-2 McNerney-Morgan here.
Yeah, you see that McNerney sort of motivating fist pump after that point. I think they're realizing the importance of this first set.
Oh, at this point, this is, you know, yeah, Nunez and Powers, they're not going to go away with this if they lose this set and feel great about it. They're just going to have to forget about it and get back to the, you know, the drawing board. And for McNerney Morgan, no better feeling in the world. They snuck their way back into this thing. And if they steal this set, kudos to them.
Oh, Seamer.
Man, he is making him work. Oh, he lets it go. What a dig, Morgan. Great get. Yeah, great dig. Ah, it's a little fadeaway.
Yeah.
And it felt like he was forcing it a little bit, but great job from Nunez putting the pressure on, making McNerney feels like he has to go for a little more there. 3-all. They get the mini break back. Now you notice Powers is really mostly lobbed his returns. He's being much more conservative than normal. You know, keeping the ball in play and not opting to go for the big return on the off chance of missing it. Great turnaround drive there. Good move from Powers, but well done on the overhead from McNerney.
No
That's going to work.
way.
Fist pump. Unintentional drop shot. He gave it a little wave like, sorry. The fadeaway. Actually, maybe it wasn't unintentional.
No, it wasn't.
I think
he
it's
played
intentional.
It. Yeah.
That was amazing touch, and he's shown touch on amazing shots there.
He got airborne again, but he showed the paddle face there the whole time.
Well, the airborne's a given, Steve.
Everything you teach someone not to do, right, Brad?
Yeah, that's a great combination of lob to the drive, and they just transition back. You know, this is a perfect example of when you have paddle momentum, right? You know, when you have this opportunity to close something out and you don't, and you open the door a little for another team. And now, you know, what looked like a super manageable set for Power. This is fight of their lives.
Yeah, for sure.
And they'll be lucky to get out of this with the set win at this point.
That's going to be tough. Yeah, nice patient play there in the corner.
And right now, Nunez and Powers are struggling to really control their lobs.
Oh, they're fighting for their life.
Yeah, and so it makes it hard. So they're not gaining any control. They're just surviving these points back there, and you're really seeing like what McNerney can do and the pressure he can put with the net at the net. And he's going right at the crease here. That's a good lob there. Possible look. And again, right back in. Yeah. Fantastic job, McNerney, Morgan. Continuing to apply the pressure. There was a moment there where they got the deep lob in, but he gets right back in. Yeah, from the backcourt, they've really, righted the ship after those first couple of games, and that's just a frustration shot there from Powers. 6-3 now. McNerney, Morgan, all the momentum has shifted. And they're riding high, fist pumping. And it looks like McNerney, Nunez and Powers are just kind of like, can't believe we did that. This is happening.
Yeah, and what it does to you mentally is you're staring down 3 hours of pain to fight back and win this match in 3 sets, potentially,
Without
right?
a doubt. But that's been their entire tournament.
Yeah.
It really has. The one thing that Powers and Nunez have shown is they are competing throughout this thing, and without a doubt. But there's a break point for everybody. Switching the backcourt, I like it. He's got it. And there it is, game and first set. McNerney and Morgan steal it. Great job.
All right, we'll be right back in just a moment after these messages right here in the APTA YouTube channel with live streaming by Joho and match statistics provided by Court Director.
A lot of founders start out with an idea, maybe in a garage, in a shared workspace, and really being a co-pilot along that whole journey from ideation to execution to maybe monetization one day is really the role we've decided to take in the marketplace. So I feel like we have really found a part of the market and offering that just really hasn't existed. It's this coaching, it's therapy, it's co-piloting on a journey that is unique.
Luxury requires no invitation. Presence needs no introduction. Every detail exists with intent. Elegance reveals itself quietly. Range Rover, the culmination of elegance at Land Rover Parsippany.
The people are the reason we've been around for 40 years. They're the reason it's a fun place to work. They're the reason we're successful. It's always been our differentiator. When you're thinking about making an investment, you want to be looking at it from every angle. We have a group of people that just cares about each other and cares about the mission of CLOS.
Welcome back to the APTA Tour. I'm Steve Sullivan here with Brad Easterbrook at Canoe Brook Country Club. Here we are, men's semifinals. You can see it on the scoreboard. McNerney, Morgan take the first set, 7-6, 7-3 in the breaker. Some of the statistics come up. Brad, I don't know if it's as much about the statistics, but there's a couple of them that are important.
Oh, I think it's a lot about the statistics because it's about the importance of certain points won. So they won that set, and again, lost more points than Nunez and Powers. It's about the ones they're winning, and they won that tiebreaker. They have 4 more points in the tiebreaker there, and that brought them up to 49% of points won. It's just about the crucial moments in the set when Nunez Powers had the chance to close it out. And really, 3 massive volleys, 4 maybe, by Adam Morgan. 2 on game points, 1 drop volley, 2 touch volleys, which he's not necessarily known for. And continuously, as I call Adam Morgan matches, I'm always saying, people don't give him enough credit for this. People don't give him enough credit for this.
Yeah.
Right. And
because he's kind of like every man, right? He inspires
well,
people.
He's jumping back
yeah.
on the volleys, and it's different things. And for Nunez Powers, short memory. They're going to have to find a way to compete. This is, a tough set to lose, and they've been fighting this whole tournament, fighting. And you said it kind of in the break, the opportunity to fade away exists for them now. They've competed so well throughout. Do they have another one in it? But we got another, like you said, this is 2 more hours. And in the back of McNerney's mind, I'm sure he knows that. And kudos completely to McNerney and Morgan. Morgan come with these massive shots in the big moments. All the big moments were won by McNerney and Morgan in that match, in that set. And you could see also the vintage McNerney, how he started to control with his overheads. Powers and Nunez struggled to control their lobs. And all of it amounts to the 7-6 takedown of Nunez Powers, and they got another win. But this is match after match for Nunez Powers.
Yeah, we talked about this at the match earlier today, the quarterfinal match, losing the first set to Friedrich and Bentheim. Now, that was different. That was a fairly quick, fast match with some of the craziest offense from Russell Bentheim. Now it's, how slow will McNerney and Morgan make them play? This team doesn't love to play that slow style. They like to sort of play points and be creative, and Nunez, likes to bring all sorts of different looks, spins, and power. But, yeah, this is going to be a mental test. I think the first 2 games of the set are critical, that they sort of get some rhythm, some way to produce points that, gives them confidence that they can sort of right the ship here.
Yeah, it's an interesting ask. You can see them. They almost look a little shell-shocked on the side. But the one thing we know is they know how to compete, and they've shown it throughout. But as we said before, it's breaking point. There's no way they can feel, like they didn't have that set there. And when you win a set and you're winning up on the points, it just gives you a great indication of how not all points are the same. Yeah. Right? Nunez Powers had a 9-point win, and it was early on at 9 points in a row. But it was early on in that first set. But there were so many opportunities. We talked about it at one time. They could have been up 4-love, then 5-love. They could have won that set 6-love.
It was 2-love, 30-love, and Adam Morgan hit a couple really big volleys and sort of pumped his fist.
Yeah, and then they got the 3-2.
That game out, then
right. And then they're up 5-3. Now Nunez Powers did win a big point at 4-3 game, where they actually came back from 2-point break points down. Get to the 5-3. But then at that moment down, you could just feel the momentum just shift. A couple of huge points.
You see the coats going on as well. I think they're trying to stay warm.
Oh, for sure.
McNerney left the court. He's back. But, Guillermo Nunez putting a vest back on. Yeah, Mark Powers is now taking his jacket back off. He was just trying to stay warm. It feels a little colder than it actually is in the temperature. It's probably maybe 45. Yeah, drifting back towards 40, maybe high 30s. Let's see what we got here. No, I think we're still mid to upper 40s.
Yeah, but like you said, it's that raw feeling out there. There's a lot of moisture in the air. It's on the cold side. There was never any thermal sun, so the court's not picking up any of the heat.
All right,
so there's a little fist bump. Nunez Powers,
new ball
short
as well.
memory. Got to compete here. That's all it is. I think he's looking like he lost in the lights, but
the lights are bright. This is a brand new court. It's all the technology that's coming into paddle and some of these new facilities. So I was out there earlier when they first turned the lights on. I looked up. It did look a little bright, but it's just a couple of those balls that are sort of no, what a get.
Yeah, great job. There was a period where Morgan was missing a few, but he's come up with the goods of these massive moments. Even that last point they won the tiebreaker on. Great little cutter drop. Morgan comes up, makes the get, gets tight to the net for Powers. Can't come up with a shot, and that's how they finish it out.
And again, a little switch from the backcourt.
Oh, that's too good. And there's got to be a place where, okay, we just lost one on the lights. At this point, they just need something good to happen, and I got to imagine Morgan and McNerney are going to step on the gas of tightening it up. making it so because the worst thing Morgan and McNerney could do right now is
points.
give them some free points.
Yeah. Oh, and another loose roller there.
Oh no, we said
This is a tricky start.
the possibility of fading away exists. How can it not? But it's also very possible they'll fade for like a game and then just be like, all right, come on. Don't you remember who we are? We're the national champions. We're the national finals last year. We're one of the best teams in the country. Everybody knows that. They can fade for this game and then just leave it at the table after that and just start competing hard after that. So anything's on the table at this point, but it's certainly not the start you want to go down love 40 with kind of what almost seemed like flat loose points. But like we talk about, and you had mentioned before too, there is going to be no ease of just winning points. They haven't done a ton of damage with the return. McNerney's volley, Morgan's volleying is out of sight, right? These guys, so the quick damage, not so simple. They're going to have to work every one of these points and really just get the momentum back.
Yeah, big ball there. Mark Powers, he's got to start feeling it. We talked about his return game. It's been a little bit passive. He's been lobbing a lot of returns. But again, it's risk reward. If this team of McNerney and Morgan are volleying so well, you got to pick your spots. And this is just a point where McNerney and Morgan need to just not miss.
Yeah. Yeah, don't give them any freebies like that.
That's a freebie.
That's exactly the one thing. I mean, the only thing that's good in this game is they're working at a 40-love game. So, but this actually would be exactly what Nunez's power would be, but to steal something back, steal this game back from McNerney Morgan.
Score update on the other men's semifinals. Regalado Salazar take the first set 6-1, 1-1 in the second set against Ethan Leon and Matt Moyo.
Yeah, those guys look like they're on a mission, Regalado Salazar. They just have been lights out all year. The only loss on the season for any incarnation of them, I believe, has been to Nunez Powers.
Yep.
And then, of course, Regalado and Salazar have both played with Nunez, and I believe they won
tournaments with them.
All the tournaments they played together as well. So just a light out season for those guys, and that early loss, almost feels like miles away. All right, so a great job there. And now we're going to hear, I told you there was a party bus that came in there from the Nunez Powers.
Are they here yet?
Team. Oh, they're here. No, I think you're going to hear them right now. You're going to hear a lot of like, let's go, let's come on. We actually didn't hear it in the first set.
We didn't. No, we didn't.
And I think we're going to either start hearing it. I'd be shocked if we don't, actually. And I told him, actually, I went to see a bunch of the players after the matches, and also to just congratulate Ben Keim and Friedrich on their great tournament. And I told the party bus people, I said, I think you guys won that match for Nunez Powers. Because we were calling the Broderick Christian match, and they really didn't have a lot of success. There wasn't a ton of things to cheer about there. All we heard was just constant cheering, like nonstop cheering from that crowd. I mean, I'm sure you heard it on the live stream that you called. I expect it's going to start coming back in there. Yeah, they're going to try to will these guys back into a positive state.
So Graham McNerney serving. Again, has the opportunity to sort of decide the pace of play here a little bit while he's, serving and volleying, getting to the net, dictating a little bit with his overheads.
Oh, we
Oh,
haven't
he
seen that from Powers since
absolutely
the
ate it.
first game, and he just caught that one. And you're right, he stuffed it right back into him. For Powers, that has to feel good.
You know, it's interesting. I was wondering why McNerney was not doing that same sort of soft cut overhead into the corner like he's been punishing Nunez with. I think, you know, the threat of Mark Powers, how he showed in that first game, those three sort of, yeah, another good move there that time by Nunez. But yeah, Mark Powers read that about the second that ball went up in the air, that drifts long.
15, 30.
Yeah, I don't know. They're playing "Don't Let Me Down" by the Beatles. I don't know. Maybe a little more uplifting song.
All right. Yeah, little bit of a swing there from Mark Powers. So, yeah, like the snapback. That first game felt a little bit demoralizing. Mark Powers held the finish on that volley for a few seconds before he did, went to the changeover. So, yeah, this would be a nice sort of game to just and there it is, quickly get back in this match.
Yeah, great job. Good touch volley there from Nunez. Maybe a little bit of a force.
Game on the second set.
And you can hear it in the background now. Come on, guys.
Yep.
You're going to hear that every time. That's going to get louder and louder. It's a big drive through the middle. And Morgan attack volleys right after. Ooh, he gave it a thought that it was going out for a second. I think he made the right choice. I think it was in. There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if that forehand starts to heat up and he can start getting a little looks, like we said, at this point, it's almost like they just need some positive energy. Get this thing going, get back to competing, and forget about the other, set. Right now, it's just a two-set match. Win the next two. That's it. Nothing's happened before. That's just a big one from Morgan as he gets it high and hard on Powers. That's out.
Yeah. Yeah, a little bit of a loose shot. I think he knows that was not the right ball there.
Hitter's got to hit.
Hitter's got to hit.
That time he didn't chase it around. Usually Morgan is not one to, he's always usually follows the ball around. He's working him here. Got a little headbanging from Gil, our producer. Big Clash fan.
It's a vibe.
It's a vibe out here at the Canubra Country Club. Rob Scanoni, Blake Anderson, tournament directors, and amazing volunteers. Great interview we had earlier with Land Rover Parsippany. In the community for 40 years, so it's just been phenomenal, the effort put in here. And of course, don't forget about Jackie Cameron, Karen Jedlick, Patty Hogan, all the work on the live stream, all our umpires, Frank, Derek, Ron, Borgatti up in the chair right now. Mike Yamsky, the whole crew, Carol Evertson, just doing tremendous work. And of course, as this goes on, we're going to have the finals here. Don't forget about men's team nationals, March 28th and 29th, women's team nationals, and married and mixed nationals coming up. Yeah, they're just going to make them work. And this is where they're just going to have to endure this. They got 2 sets of this, Nunez and Powers. And they just got to become super solid. And this is where Morgan goes to work. 3 really strong drives, just incredible hands from Nunez Powers. Yeah, Morgan's getting, he's feeling it. Great dig.
Nice dig.
And amazing work. Now, there was a lot of balls to Morgan there, and he was starting to really work it. That's a great shot. And kind of McNerney hits that waterfall, and then he gives a little screen, actually, to Morgan. He's sort of in the way. Like, he's standing right there, and then he just moves.
He leaves it for him. It's coming from that direction.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's like, oops. I mean, that was really good fortune there for Nunez Powers. Be great for them to take a 2-1 lead. Everything's just about 1 point. Just 1 foot in front of the other now for these guys. And, you know, no ad scoring system, while it means they can't do this every point, no matter what, we're still seeing 3-hour matches out here. You're right. And this one,
he slipped.
if you want, and that's the moisture on the court. I'm pretty sure of it.
You can see it. You
the
can
condensation happens when it's warm in the day, temp drops. Morgan going over to check it out. See what Powers does. If he's bleeding, it's going to take a second here.
Yeah.
Do. I think he said do.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, the moisture, the condensation, anybody who plays paddle knows this is what, oh, yeah, he just, right leg just goes right out from under him to the side. And they got to put the heaters on. Yeah, I'm shocked. I mean, we don't really know when they do that or not, but I'm shocked they haven't done it to this point. And they certainly will, I think. And Powers going to take a minute, walk it off, rightfully so.
Yeah,
I don't believe this
courts.
is any kind of like 10-minute injury timeout either. I think this is just somehow a gratis thing. And they're just waiting to get the heaters on. And I think you can see McNerney, like,
let's go.
Put his fingers on. No, I don't think it was a let go. I think let's get the heaters on. I think that's what he was saying.
Yeah.
Like turning the finger. I think he was saying let's get the heaters on. He doesn't want that. He knows that could happen to him just the same, and he doesn't want it to happen to anybody. All the guys in the community in the paddle world is really one of the best ones out there. You know, these guys are doing battle as hard as anyone could. Like. Yeah, he's bleeding.
Yeah, the lines, I don't know if it was the line. Sometimes the side of the court where there's no foot traffic, the lines tend to get more slick.
Lines can definitely be more slick. But I think he was stepping on the outside of the court when his right foot left, but hard to say.
Yeah, but this surface can do some damage. So any moisture, any sort of unsteady footing is not a great place to play a paddle match.
So let's play a little game here. We're going to do Guess This Playlist. What do you think it is? Tournament director Rob Scanoni? I mean, he definitely would be rooted in the Creedence, AC/DC world. We're not hearing a lot of alternative rock. We're not hearing Olivia Dean or Lola Young or anything new. I'm good with all of it.
There could have been a committee that worked on this for the last 3 months. You never know. This might have been a fun playlist to build.
Or wonder if he just did Stadium Rock, and he just got the Stadium Rock playlist. Rob Scanoni, tournament director, Stadium Rock. All right, so Powers, a couple of minutes there to towel off. I'm sure they threw the heaters on. We can't really hear it. And you don't really see the steam. It's not enough water to be that much steam, but it's a film, essentially, that kind of starts to get on the court. And it's a worse slipperiness because you don't see it as well. It's sort of like, you know, just this film that gets on the court, and it's really tough, and it happens all the time in these warm weather days that cool down at night.
Yeah, the speed of play and sort of the pace of these points has definitely slowed down.
Oh, no, I feel like for McNerney and Morgan, it's more like, go ahead, win these next two sets. It's going to take you a long time. That loss of that first set, huge for Nunez Powers, and, you know, and huge the other way around. Because win or loss on this set, it's doing what McNerney and Morgan do really well, which is just work you over physically, work you over mentally. And it's one of the ways they compete so well. They use that. They use their conditioning.
Yeah, and they have plenty in the tank. They've had a couple easy matches while, you know, Nunez and Powers have been battling in three-setters the last two rounds.
No, other than Broderick
well, yeah, that last match was the one that was
Christian,
quick.
I think Nunez and Powers have been on the court more than any other team in this tournament.
Yeah.
All right, so Nunez Powers taking a lead here, 2-1. Now the last game, the return game, we did see a couple of Powers forehands in there.
Yeah, it's going to be a different. I think it's going to be a different pace if they keep this momentum.
All right, time to talk about one of our great sponsors, Pure Hockey. And with cutting-edge fitting technology and the widest selection of hockey gear, Pure Hockey is the ultimate destination for players of all levels and the industry leader in hockey retail. Pure Hockey. And they have, you know, franchises in places all over the place. And they really are, you know, the leaders in all the hockey stuff you do. Incredible, incredible place. If you're a hockey fan, and how could you not be after the Olympics?
I mean, unbelievable, men and women. Both those gold medal matches were unreal. All right, we have 3-2, so 6-1, 3-2 for Regalado and Salazar in the other men's semifinal against Leon and Moyo. And here we have Adam Morgan serving. Guillermo Nunez near side, deuce court, the lefty.
I love the switch in the backcourt here. And just change the look a little. When he goes into the sidewire, he started definitely giving Nunez some trouble with those waterfalls.
Absolutely.
Onto the backhand side. He doesn't have quite the reach, you know, going up that sidewire that Powers will with his forehand side. So that limits that a little. He also won't be able to do the waterfall on either side to either corner as well, because Nunez on the ad side got the forehand, you know, attacking high ball or cutter or something along the lines. So this is what that does for them. I don't know that it opens up more offense for them in any way, shape, or form, but it definitely helps them defensively against the waterfalls. And like we said, this is exactly what Nunez Powers want. He just tried to make that too good, McNerney. He's been controlling the points, but if McNerney Morgan start to give him some loose point here and there, dig. Oh, can't come up with that. They've made a couple of huge gets in this match, which have been very impactful. Not that one. Oh, didn't make it over. And now we're seeing some attack here. We really didn't see it for a good series of 3-4 games. They're letting the offense go a little. Oh, he catches actually McNerney backing up and volleying at the same time. You rarely see that from McNerney. He's usually right on top of the net. Perfect return there. Good game. Nunez Powers, they're getting the things we said they need. Couple of loose balls. And they're finding a little bit more of their offense. That serves long. Confirmed by the umpire, Ron Borgatti. Love 15. Good call there from Powers, telling Nunez to hit it. Goes for the skyhook. Great blitz there. Powers swinging forehand volley. You love it.
You just willed it over the net with those hands.
I mean, it's so disrespectful to McNerney's attacking volley. That was just a phenomenal play. It's almost like he's calculated where the ball's likely to go, and he just starts it ahead of time. It's a crazy, crazy play. Yeah, good playing.
He baited him on that one. I'm not sure that's the shot Adam Morgan wants. All right, 15-all. Nice shot there, Guillermo Nunez. Oh, a little bit of a slip. Oh, a little bit of a slip, and I thought at first he pulled up a little weak, but I think he pulled up frustrated at the slickness of the court.
Yeah.
I mean, he kind of made a face and pointed down to the court.
You know, the reality is they should have turned these heaters on like 10 minutes ago. It's going to take a few minutes for the court to heat up and to start to really get that moisture off. So it's still there, you know, and they really should have. I actually would have been like, let's turn these heaters on now when the match starts. And let's get this court heated up to a point where this mildew's not really, you know, this film isn't going to really get there. And they just get used to playing with it on. Whether you like it or not, that's the play. He slipped again. Nunez slipped on that last one. Yeah, that court's getting slick.
Just love the simple technique of Guillermo Nunez to sort of lay that paddle out nice and early, put it in front, let all that power get diffused by, oh, he just.
That's great dipping drive there. And these are the moments here, they got to be careful. They don't want to start to feel that same pattern emerging, right? We get up and then, oh, miss the ball. Now that was a great shot by McNerney. He put it right on his shoelaces. So not simple to come up with that time and time again. But it's just going to start to feel like a pattern, right?
One-hander by Adam Morgan.
Running one-hander. And he just full out went for it.
Yeah, this is a tough.
And I'm not sure why, you know, he could easily let it go, took one step back and hit it over. But then again, he did hit that slap shot winner 2 balls before or 3 balls before on a crazy shot.
So just real quick public service announcement. I just got a text from my 90-year-old mother. It's daylight savings tonight if you forgot about that, so set your clocks.
There you go.
Or don't, right? They're all automatic in it nowadays anyway.
Well, we appreciate that, Mama Sullivan. And just so you know, your boys, he's doing good.
Yeah, long weekend. We're grinding. We're grinding from the booth. It's almost like Mark Powers is trying to see if that court's slick as well. Look, I don't like the footing.
Oh, it definitely is slick. There's no question. Yeah, that was a dangerous ball there, and that's trouble.
They're not going to chase it.
Yeah, but it's the first ball that set the whole thing up.
Yep.
And great job there. And once again, McNerney Morgan coming back from behind. They can't quite get that separation. Yeah, you can hear Robin Borgatti saying it's pretty slippery out there. Hopefully the heaters are starting to work it through. Yeah, I just got a text in from Bob Considine and asking if this is a temporary court. And if it is, you know, fresh paint, he's saying makes a difference too. It hasn't really settled in. It's still slicker.
Especially the lines on a new, freshly painted court. Sometimes those lines can be a little slick depending on sort of the process they went through to, grit, paint. I keep hearing them talk about the heaters, and I think what Graham McNerney said was, I hear one in the corner, but you don't see any of that, that air coming through.
There's no steam or anything for sure, but I don't know if there's a lot of water to really create that much steam.
Yeah.
Whatever that film is on the court. And then again, you know, as he said, if it is a freshly painted court, it does make a difference. No question about it. Get each one of these guys some crampons, a little ice. Stick them on there.
So it feels like a huge game. I sort of,
I
read ahead on the
you.
scoreboard. I was seeing 4-1 all day.
That's what I'm saying. But they haven't been able to achieve that in any moment. And that's another game. Look, there was a great shot there by McNerney. He dips it at his feet. He gets the missing volley there. But then he probably should have let that Morgan ball go, right? But they volley that, you know, and it's just, you know, they can't quite get the separation they want. And McNerney and Morgan really just in the big moments have shined.
A monster.
He did, but well tracked down so hard that Morgan was even closing in. He had time to get back and get it. It was a real ripper by Powers.
Yeah, you see the condensation coming out of the breath. So just a weird sort of middle temperature. I think Adam Morgan's right, just sort of dewy and a little bit humid out there. Hasn't really gotten so cold.
Oh, he loaded up on that. Had a really good look.
Oh, did he get it?
Morgan did. And what a shot.
He slick. Oh, he
out.
Called it out. I mean, it was out.
Oh, my
wow.
goodness. What digs there. Look at this dig. He goes to a full semi, like Eastern backhand grip on his forehand side. He digs it out, and it's just wide. Both Nunez and Powers, they just raised their hands. They're like, thank goodness that was out. He had the space, and he hit the perfect pace. That would have been a winner down the line. Great point there, and a couple of amazing gets from, Morgan and McNerney. All right, so a follow-up text there from Bob Considine of Paddle Pro fame. It's, saying it takes a month, and he's well into all of the nuances of court building and racket tension and rebound effects from all the rackets that are in paddles that are out there. Said it takes a month to break, and we could bring in others from here. You know, Chris Riley, David Dodge. It takes a month to break the surface tension of the paint, which means it's just kind of hanging on, and then the paint itself is allowing for that slickness to kind of build on top of it.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see how much
Sits
play
on
they've
top.
gotten. Yeah, they've been here for a bit. I was here during the Short Hills tournament, so they had been up for already a little bit. What was that, 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago?
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, it was the 6th
they
and
also
the
need
7th
play.
maybe, so it's
Yeah,
basically
yeah.
about a month.
Yeah.
And they've probably been here for a month. All right, 1540, and there's a little let cord. And then you got a quick shot of the party bus people. Not shouting it out as much as I thought. Oh, and the miss hit Squibber, just catches him reaching. He almost could have let that bounce.
Yeah.
But it kind of confused him a little. So 4-2 Nunez Powers, and that, I agree with you, Steve. That was a huge game. Powers and Nunez want separate. When these moments have gotten close, it's been Morgan and McNerney who've really been able to kind of dial it back a little bit.
Yeah, I feel like coming into that last game, Guillermo Nunez, of course, a little frustrated with the surface. You could hear his feet shuffling. He was, you know, a little bit unsteady. That was that last drop shot they didn't chase down, but yeah, that ball stayed in. So yeah, nice for them to come back and get that game.
Wow, what a stretch volley there.
Oh, he almost missed it.
Third panel smash, gets him back there. Can't quite get it over Morgan's head. Yeah, Morgan's starting to hone in on when to cut off those balls. They're making him chase. So efficient, McNerney.
Oh, it stayed in.
Great little roller. I love the Adam Morgan fist bump. It's a full.
Yeah, and you said it before, Brad. If they can just hang around and get to a 4-3 and sort of be within a, you know, a little bit of a momentum swing to sort of do again what happened in that first set. Yeah, they just want to stay close.
Ooh, just didn't get over the top of that one. All right, 15 all. What's great about this is it feels like we're a long ways removed from that 7-6 set. Like, you feel like there's any carryover left. Yeah, it feels like, you know, hey, Powers and Nunez, they've forgotten it. Smart, and another just phenomenal get. You're really making a difference. It just shows you one more ball, you know, that you have to make, and that one's out. You know, transitions all the way up, all the way back.
I think McNerney was sort of saying, yeah,
settle it.
right?
Yeah, take a minute before you take the drive again. Right. But I think Morgan's he's like a force of nature. You know, like he's a coiled spring. He sees it, he hits it. Everything to him, you know, he's a hammer.
Yeah.
Everything's a nail. And he does a good job making choices. Maybe that one not so much, because he just tracked down the drop shot. He just got back in. That said, though, it's sort of surprising, right? And, you know, Morgan's come up with some huge shots.
That's just going to die.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it did.
Nunez Powers lead the second set by 2. McNerney Morgan won the first set.
All right, time to talk about another one of our sponsors, Viking Athletics. And for nearly 3 decades, Viking has been a premium name in platform tennis. Viking's mission is simple: produce high-quality, innovative products to enable players at all levels to achieve their best results. And visit www.vikingathletics.com to learn more about their brand. And be sure to stay tuned for their new lineup of releases coming in the summer of 2026.
Yeah, they have a nice booth over there in the tent, the player, spectator tent where the bars are set up. A lot of the vendors and sponsors have tents set up, a lot of Viking gear on display.
All right, so this is the greatest separation Nunez and Powers have had in the match, 3 games. You know, it felt like they could get there, and there was a time where we felt like they could have been up 5-1 or at least 4-1 in that first set. Didn't get there. 5-2 works well for them. I don't think service has been like a thing. Now this is 3 games, and it's been a set that just feels different, and now I think they're just kind of back to it. You can feel all the players still just sliding their feet on the ground. Is it slick? Is it not? I think it's slick.
Yeah,
I think there's no question about it.
The athleticism and the sort of the movement sort of looks like it's settled a little bit. So, yeah, big game for McNerney Morgan. That's now 7 games, right? So 6 from the first set with the warm-up, then 7 into the tiebreaker, another 7. So yeah, new ball, they're gonna hit a couple with it. All right, Adam Morgan's gonna take one. Another little bit of a slip. The footing is definitely not perfectly stable. Really nice camera angle there, looking at Mark Powers defending in that corner.
Love 30.
2 quick points. Guillermo Nunez sort of looking, using that little frustration to give him a little bit of energy. He's coming, yeah, that ball missed. Yeah, he's coming forward.
Love 40.
This set just slipping away a little bit quickly for McNerney and Morgan. So triple or quadruple set point here. And there it is. Second set goes to Nunez and Powers, 6-2. So we'll be right back in just a moment after these messages right here in the APTA YouTube channel with live stream by Joho and match statistics by Court Director.
Since 1990, Grant Homes has built more than 200 homes throughout northern New Jersey. We specialize in designing homes shaped around your vision, each one distinct and personal to the way you live. Our team brings together the architect, engineers, designers, and landscape professionals, coordinating every detail from the beginning. Jay Grant remains personally involved from concept to reality, guiding both client and team from planning through construction, right up to move in. Our business platform is open book construction management. Clients see every cost, both soft and hard, with complete transparency from day one. Grant Homes, building distinctive homes with transparency, craftsmanship, and personal commitment.
All right, welcome back to the APTA Tour. I'm Brad Easterbrook alongside Steve Sullivan, where the number 2 seeds of Nunez and Powers just took the second set 6-2 against McNerney and Morgan. Let's take a quick look at our Court Director statistics and see what it was there. The tail of the tape is exactly what you saw out there. It had a different feel to it. Only 33% of the points won by McNerney Morgan. You know, there were no sudden deuce games in that. it felt like it could get tight at any moment, but it just didn't get there. And then that last game, shockingly, just 4 quick errors. Nunez Powers able to find a little more offense in that from the backcourt. And McNerney and Morgan just didn't come up with the big shots in the big moments. And they made a few errors just on a few of the drives. So service points won only 11% by McNerney and Morgan in that set. And that's never going to bode well. And they got broken every single time in that game. So this is just a tale of 2 sets. And we're going to come back for a third one here. And each set feels like its own little micro set. In the first set, you know, McNerney and Morgan down the whole way and scraping and clawing in there. And Nunez Powers can't quite get the separation they need. And at the end, they come up with a few huge shots, which propels them in there and allows them to take that first set and dominate the tiebreaker. And in this set, Nunez Powers started out well, but they got exactly what they needed. A couple of gifts from McNerney Morgan first. And then it felt like there was a moment where McNerney Morgan could close it out, or not stay closer. Not close it out, to stay closer. But in those moments, they just made some mistakes. So now we're just at it with the third set here. And that's the exact set they needed, Steve, Nunez and Power.
It's interesting. So I just, you know, truth be told, I just ran for a little bathroom break. The weather outside is a little bit misty. It's not raining, but it feels really wet outside.
Yeah.
So that little, you know,
meaning
Nunez
even with the heaters on.
Yeah. I mean, Nunez slipping, and I think making it feel like the court wasn't so stable, sort of changed a little bit of the energy of that match. I think the athleticism, well, maybe it's a little bit of slip there from Adam Morgan as well. I think it just changed the dynamic of this match a little bit.
Yeah, perhaps you're right, but the only person to actually go down and to slip the most were Nunez and Powers.
Yeah.
You know, and then there was that couple, 2-minute break for Powers to towel off for them to get the heaters on. And sort of what was shocking, though, is like these loose errors right now are creeping in.
And they went down 1-0 quick and then played some really, wow, that's too bad. That was a really nice dig out there by Adam Morgan.
Great dig.
You know, they played really slow at 1-0 and 1-all, and the question was, why are Nunez and Powers playing so slow? But yeah, the match, that set finished quickly.
Yeah, and we've seen Morgan kind of go in these mini streaks with his drive. Like he went through pockets where he was just hitting these great shots. I think he's done the most damage with volleys in the exchange, and we didn't see very little blitzing or exchange, and he's missing some drives right now. But in the first set, I don't know if you remember, part of that comeback was a couple of quick exchange volleys from McNerney Morgan, which made a massive difference. They were just at these huge times. That sort of dried up in the entire window. It's almost like it slowed down, as you said, and that was just worked well for Nunez and Powers. We also weren't able to see McNerney, and there was a point in that first set where he was able to start to take over. And the Powers and Nunez switch in the backcourt, I think, helped that a lot. The waterfall over it took it out of play. Inconsequential in the second set whatsoever.
Yeah, Nunez was struggling with that vintage sort of Graham McNerney soft up and down waterfall that sort of just dies on the side screen.
Yeah, but when they switch sides, they got both their forehands on the outside, and that just makes it much harder for McNerney to use that shot. As that Regalado Salazar just taken down and securing their trip to the finals on their march.
Yep, 6-1,
they have
6-3.
been, you know, it's kind of funny. I was talking for a minute with Drew Broderick, and, you know, they feel a little inevitable. Like, you know, like they're marching their way on a mission here in Nationals. And every step of the way, it seemed that way. One of these teams is going to have a big say in that. And I'm sure they don't feel that way. But they've just been very, very strong all season long.
some point he's going to, oh, it's just a killer.
Well, what's also a killer is I think that film on the court is adding a little more unpredictability to playing the spin either.
Yeah.
You're not sure if it's going to grab or slide. You know, just like you're not sure when you're running, are you going to grab or slide with your feet? The ball's got the same issue, right? If it's going to move, and usually if it's, you know, of course it's going to grab the ball more, but you got a film on the court. Like that one did slide off the side screen and went to the left, you know, to the right, which is what it's going to do. But he thought it was going to bite from the get-go and then start to and sort of like hop up and go over. That thing just slid down and over, and it was just a killer. And I think this right here, and if McNerney catches up on it, could be the time where all of these guys could start dropping the overhead really low, carving it through the court, and, you know, really doing some damage. It's like all the energy went out of the building for McNerney Morgan, which is shocking because they had maybe, you know, that first set, the double fist bumps, the huge shots, and they stole it. They took it, right? And it's somewhere in that second set, instead of regrouping and being like, all right, let's get this back, they kind of let it dissipate.
Yeah, it's almost like they got a little distracted by the footing of Guillermo Nunez and that fall by Mark Powers.
Oh, another head shot.
Another into the head.
Adam Morgan just taking shots.
All right, McNerney Morgan need to find a way to sort of tighten this game up.
Big ball, transition ball. Oh, he catches Powers leaning to his right. Good little drive there. Powers maybe needed to set beforehand. He was still moving, and that's where he catches him. Great shot through by Nunez. Yeah, we're getting all sorts of texts now on brand new paint and courts. Eric Fay, Chicago, West Coast, now in the Denver area, Colorado area, you know, talking about new courts drying way slower because the new paint is thicker. So keep the paint coming. Paint comments coming. It could certainly be a part of it. Sherwin-Williams has nothing on you guys.
Well, there's a lot going on, right? I mean, it's a condition at the moment. The moisture of the court is something that has affected play.
Oh, no question. You know, it's interesting, though, you're equating it to, like, it's part of the, like, I don't know, like a way that sort of distracted them. You know, I'm not sure if that's the case or not.
Yeah, there's just, you know, you said they sort of left the room for a minute. They
let the energy go, dissipate. You know, you win that first set, and what I thought I was going to see was them grinding these guys to a halt, like they're going to have to win this super tough set. We didn't see that. We saw some slow points, but we didn't see that at all, right? They didn't, you know, make them win every point. They gave them errors, they missed some shots, right? And then they got a little loose in some moments. And as a consequence, they made it kind of like and the moments they had when it seemed like they could tighten it up, when Powers and Nunez didn't go, it was 3-2. There was that one huge game where Powers and Nunez were in danger of it going 3-3. Powers and Nunez pulled that out, and then from there it's like everything just left the building. Like all the, you know, all the focus on playing like long, tight points just kind of disappeared.
Oh, it didn't go.
30-40.
Yeah, crowd is enjoying the match. All sides of this court, for the most part, full at capacity.
And it's a full everything party there for the paddle enthusiasts. They're like right there, you know, right on those fences watching all these great points and these athletes go at it. And then you got the cocktail party in the background and the full bar in there where guys are watching the matches, checking on the scores, but enjoying a social time. It's really got everything out there for everyone. Oh, just great gets.
Defending.
Yeah, nicely done. See if they can find a way to turn it. But you know, maybe you're right in the sense that the film is making it harder to deal with the cutover. I think the long, low cutter is the way to go. Whenever you get it, you take it. All right, big point here. Nunez Powers have been holding the cards here. Now it gets to the sudden death point. Will Powers pull the trigger on this? He's been more conservative overall in the matches on the return. Yeah, just lobs it up. Big point. Switch in the backcourt, you think? Oh, no. Tough, that one waterfall, and he gets it. It sticks to the side wire. Big moment.
Yeah, it was a big moment. You know, the defensive lob was short, right? So that gave Adam Morgan a chance to do another offensive, you know, up, down, and then once you give it to Graham McNerney on top of the net, wow.
That's a winner, probably. No, great track down. Powers using the wheels. Still got stuff in the
these guys
tank.
are making it look easy.
Oh!
Out.
Phenomenal get from Powers. And look at that turnaround drive. Nunez, quick forehand over the top. That's just outstanding stuff.
Well, that was the one, right? That first opportunity, McNerney lets it drop a little bit, shoulder height comes through it, and just unreturnable by Guillermo Nunez. So, yeah, there's still a little bit of a slick factor out there. But the footing looks better, thankfully. Oh, what a great spot.
Right in the tape.
Nice spot.
It's amazing how these, like, the energy switches.
It just came
like
back. It's
moment
come back.
to moment.
Yeah.
You know, we were talking about, you know, in Short Hills where Nunez and Powers played against Regalado and Salazar, and it felt like every single point had like a momentum shift. Like each individual point was shifting momentum in the first set. After that, it was, you know, one-sided for Regalado Salazar, and Nunez Powers were able to take it down 7-6 every point. Hard fought. And it feels like we're getting right back to this right now. Oh. Yeah, he's definitely misreading a few of these. But also a great shot. That thing's sticking near the wire. But it seems like he's near it. Yeah, that's going to be tough for Powers.
Yeah.
Great shot there. Massive forehand. And he just catches him out of position. Nunez goes for the cutter. He's moving to the center. No way to get back in position to get that cross court. Break point for McNerney Morgan. Stealing some of that momentum back.
I think that was a hi-ya as Adam Morgan hit that one.
It was
he just
hi-ya.
put so much energy into it. You got to love it.
That's
it's going to stay in.
Well, Nunez put so much in some of those cutters that the recovery time's a little longer. And this is going to be a massive fist bump from Morgan if they win this point. And he hits it wide.
You think?
Yeah, it's right there.
Double fist bump. I mean, it's just such a huge turn of momentum that we probably said 3 times the energy left the room, right? Something just sort of drained from their bodies in that second set when they got to that, 3-2 game and then went down 4-2, 5-2, and then lost the set. But wow, what a turnaround at the right time. Yeah, I didn't see that quick of a turn coming.
I would say every single set so far has been a bit of a misdirect. I mean, it looks like Powers and Nunez are going to run away, take that first set, possibly go up, heavy, win it easily. They lose control, momentum shifts quickly. They, McNerney Morgan steal the set. You feel like McNerney Morgan will make these guys battle hard in that second set. There's a huge game at 2-3. It goes to 2-4, and it just disappears, right? And this one here, Nunez Powers, and it looks like McNerney Morgan just make a bunch of loose errors and then just 1 or 2 shots right back, and the momentum just shifting in another direction. It's been a misdirect every single time. And I, for one, Steve, am tired of them playing with my emotions.
All right, let's see how this game starts off. Yeah, Grant McNerney quickly retreats.
Do you think the Haya adds to like the momentum?
Oh, right on the back maybe.
No, just out. Almost dipped it in there.
15 love.
Putting a little heat on Ron Borgatti to make a call there.
Yeah, I mean, the ball was dipping. It looked like it was headed out the whole way, but as it was going, it just kept diving towards that line. That thing was out by a smidge. Look at this. They're going to go to the backcourt and grind.
Yeah, McNerney started on the ad side, same side of the court as Adam Morgan. We're going to stay back. Let's not complicate it.
At the crease, good help call. He's going to get the turnaround drive there.
Just such a tough ball to defend. Yeah, there's no way that's going to the back screen. You can hear it coming off the paddle, just all that cut.
Coming down to the wire is a matchup between our national finalists. Should whoever wins this, the juggernaut of Regalado Salazar awaits. Oh, he's got him stretching. Full stretch. Adam Morgan takes a wide stance look at that. That's not how I drew it up.
No, I like Nunez just going full board with his cutter. Just cut overhead, different spins, different locations, backside, side. You know, I think it's, you know, make Adam Morgan work. It's been very effective the past couple games. Just catapults off that back screen.
That's going to go wide. It's going to
And it makes
spin
him
off
play
his
it, right?
paddle.
He's got to think about how am I going to direct
spin
that
off
ball.
his paddle. He's got to redirect it the other direction, but he's so worried about whether he's got to take it right now or let it go to the screen, and he's not able to set himself. A couple break points for Nunez Powers. Get this thing even. It's just been a back and forth affair. You really don't know where the next air or momentum is going to come from. But you're pretty sure where the next Hayat's going to come from.
Yeah.
And that'll be Adam Morgan.
All right, here we go.
And that's a little long.
Should we just fast forward to the tiebreak? What do you think?
Save a little time. Let's get to the.
I mean, cut the chase.
Well, it's interesting that you say that because it does feel like these guys are like, you know, just focusing, giving it their all to compete. Tough conditions, court conditions changing, momentum shifts. You would think that, you know, this sort of favors Nunez Powers maybe a little, just because, you know, if they can drop that cutter in there. But one thing I know about Adam Morgan is right when you think, you know, you got him doing one thing or another, he just comes up. He's super streaky, and he's going to have the hot streak soon. Like, he's going to make some ridiculous get. Been almost falling over. Then he's going to fall over again. Then he's going to hit 3 huge drives or make a massive volley. And, you know, he just keeps answering the bell on these types of things. And Nunez Powers, like, this tournament's been a slog for them.
Yeah.
See, like, you know, where's the next thing going to come from? That's just easy miss there. Not a shot he's going to make most of the time, but it's going to happen. No, it's wide.
I thought it was in. I had it in, Gee.
Oh, overrule.
Sorry, buddy.
Sorry, buddy. Ron Borgatti. He gives him the sorry, buddy. All right, he had it in. It was kind of a thought where it looked like Nunez was going to play it, and then he was like, it's out. They had an overrule in their last match. Is that correct, Steve?
Yeah.
Yeah. One thing Powers and Nunez have done, maybe they'll use this as fuel, but that's a big point. He just gets up to serve. I like Ron Borgatti. Sorry, buddy.
He's going to make a call, and he's sticking with it. And the worst part of those situations, and just flag that ball. The worst part of these situations is when the crowd starts making the call.
Well, the crowd did go, that was in.
I heard it.
And the honest truth is we couldn't really see it.
No,
it was
we
sort of
couldn't
blocked
see it. We
by,
couldn't see it,
it was blocked by Nunez's body. So
get it.
We got nothing. If I had to guess, it looked like it could have gone either way there, right? And I would have guessed it was in. Wow, that's just so good.
Huge.
And again, the fake drop shot and 2 break points and a great blitz there to start it off. And Powers was biting in completely on the dropper. And he just holds it so well. He can decelerate and drop his paddle back for the drop at the last second, and he squeezes it there and bounces it down over him. And you got that's long. Turns him around a little bit, 30-40.
How big is this point?
Yeah, I mean, if Nunez Powers, everything feels like an opportunity to steal momentum. Here, McNerney Morgan, fist pump. Powers, Nunez, opportunity to steal it back. Switching the backcourt. They're still going at him, making him run, make him work.
Yeah, I love that spot.
Yeah,
it's got to go a little further towards Adam Morgan.
And it's got to go a little lower.
Yeah.
That one kind of hopped up. No. Cannot make one more. 3-2, McNerney Morgan.
They lead the third set, 3-2.
Yeah, it's the right height, but his body wasn't there. He also had to reach for it a little bit. So, yeah, just couldn't get under that ball. And again, McNerney and Morgan, they just continue to fight.
Well, everything has gone against what I kind of expect. And right now I expect Nunez and Powers to kind of bear down and get this game. So I don't know if that bodes well or not. But either way,
that's the call.
They're all opportunities.
It is an absolute concert out there.
That's out. Quick block lob. It's great serve there. Almost gets the ace. Pretzel action from. Good job. This is trouble.
That's nice pace. No trouble for Guillermo Nunez.
God, he's full out attack here, Nunez. That's 4 forays in a row. Forward blitzes for Nunez. This is where he's going to go to work. Right at the crease. Oh, McNerney's starting to go to work here.
There you go. That's the one Mark Powers. Oh,
Powers reads it. Wow, McNerney was going to work, but Power, he jumped the route. He was on there before McNerney hits it. Powers right up the wire. You see him, and he just one-times that down. Beautiful play as Powers. It really looked like McNerney was starting to do his thing. Powers just shuts it right down. Huge point. 15 all instead of love 30.
Wow.
Yeah, 2 big drives, but I like those leaves.
Oh, it flied. Oh, it stayed in.
It's in. Yeah, 2 push lobs, a little long.
15.
McNerney and Morgan get separation here. Yeah, Nunez is going on heavy offense here. He's really starting to attack, looking for every opportunity he can.
Went for the forehand.
Hittable ball.
Yeah. All right, here we go. 30 all.
It's going to get hit. That was out, yeah. And you see, look at these guys. They're trying to, again, I like the influence, though. They're going in there. That was in right away, and a call goes the other direction. For us, it's hard to see again. I felt like the other ball was in, just a gut feeling. That felt like it was going out, but I got no real basis for it. It just felt like it was a flyer.
Ron Borgatti all over this match, right? Making sure, these situations do get tricky, right?
Hey, look, he stood his ground in both situations. In both cases, well, the other case, it was still Morgan McNerney in the crowd going, that was in, right? And but 2 overrules. And good for him. He calls it as that's what he's there for. He's there for these moments. One goes one way, one goes the other. Do I think this is going to be the difference in the match? Absolutely not. This match is, it's played right here in these moments, like just missing that one. These, like the 3 lobs, the 3 points, McNerney Morgan weren't just 3 out lobs. Another big, huge sudden death point here. And Powers has been lobbing them. They haven't had the traditional. He hits that one, but
yeah, he swung at the last 2. It wasn't full conviction.
That's out. Tough game. I think it was bad, but it was, 3 little lobs out. A big drive. That's a huge separation there for McNerney Morgan as they close towards 6 games. Morgan's leaving him hanging. Doesn't know it though. He's still walking away from him.
Fired up. Look at him.
He's pumped. I think the call. I think, when Morgan gets more fired up, I think that's good for him.
He's in the zone.
When he starts really jumping on the volleys and giving you the high yaws, that's when you watch out.
Yeah, man. It's that tunnel vision. When you get in the zone like that, you just get so super focused, and that's where Adam Morgan is right now.
All right, new ball. All right, the Nunez and Powers have one more comeback in them. They've been fighting downhill the entire way, uphill this entire tournament. Amazing blitz there from McNerney.
I think I just heard an all day from the crowd. Like, you got this little. Listen, it's 7:40. The bar's been open since 12:40 this morning. this afternoon. So yeah, this is a crowd that's having fun. It's great entertainment. It's great paddle.
Slow it down. Good high lob there. Good choice. All right, miss hit there.
He sent that out, and yeah, there it comes right back from the crowd.
15 all.
And Powers just sends it over. Everybody hits it a little just to make sure nothing happened.
Oh, he may give him a new ball.
Oh, so it went out.
Yeah.
So it's a brand new ball here again. All right, he's just going right into it. No serves. 15 all. That's a good one. You could feel
you
that,
could
hear that
see
one.
that thing move through. That's not gettable. That's not gettable.
Now, Nunez, you know, the last game he had a couple loose errors, but then you see that kind of stuff. It's just outrageous. He just dictated that point. It almost, it's just like he's toying with it. I mean, that's just ridiculous shot selection and, you know, execution on those massive balls in a massive moment.
What, it hit him?
It's 40-15. Yeah, he said 34. Yeah, it just, I'm not actually sure if it hit him or what happened there, but it died.
So. Again, all the momentum on their side in a really quick game.
Yeah, it's kind of funny how it's working out. Like I said, every time I expect something, it kind of goes the other direction. You know, they get the separation, and you figure, let's dial it in and play the toughest game possible. Don't let him breathe back in here. Don't let him breathe again. And it kind of goes the other direction. You know, we got a game that it ended up being a deuce game as it was, and Nunez Powers end up with, you know, 3 lob errors and a missed drive. And it's just funny. Everything's kind of gone a little bit of the opposite way. But the one thing that does remain, everybody keeps going back at it and competing. Look at this. Is that Patty Hogan out there directing the crowd?
Oh, it sure is.
It's Patty
Shocker.
Hogan. Shocker. She is pumping it up. Energizer, buddy.
She's going to get the wave going at some point.
She might. She's got to sit down. That took a lot of energy.
All right, so it'll be interesting to see. This is going to be the underhand serve from Adam Morgan.
Yeah, they stayed back exclusively in this
Exactly.
game, and they've been much more timid in this. We'll see if they do it that way again. Yeah. Oh, he's taking one. Sorry. So a little practice serve with the new ball. All right, here we go. McNerney Morgan, and he comes in this time, and he gets stuffed. Great rip there from Nunez.
All right, they're going to send McNerney back to the net. Last game, they were sitting him almost starting in the ad side and staying back.
Oh, reacher. It's so funny, the streaks of Adam Morgan, it's almost like it's what drives the game a little bit. And just because he missed that one doesn't even mean he's going to make the next 4.
Oh, that's a really...
Oh, Powers with a great reflex, but he had kind of misplayed the ball before,
Absolutely.
and he gave him a look. But the hands are outrageous. And that's where McNerney's so dangerous. He just stands there. He actually wants that. But love 40 now. Nunez Powers can even this thing back up. And why not? This has been the entire match. Great let cord there for McNerney.
40-15.
He'll take it.
15-40, I should say.
1 break point saved.
Come on, Ron.
That's big. They get the net. Last 3 times they weren't able to get the net at all here.
Yeah.
You know, as this goes, I can't really determine what's happening next. It's like I said, point for point. You can see this. I feel like every moment here is a chance now for McNerney Morgan to steal this and shut the door. And this is a must-win game for Nunez Powers. Switch in the backcourt. Starts to take away the waterfalls. Oh boy.
You, me.
That's
Hear that ball skip through?
Ooh, slides. Slides from Nunez. You can see the slides. Film on the court. I think the slide is so pronounced that you almost have to play for it.
Yeah.
Patience, like it. The middle's, you know, more open to them now. It's not that Nunez or Powers can't hit a good backhand. It's just not generally the preferred weapon. But Nunez is good at this one, especially with the blitz behind it. Switch back, looked like. That's going to do it. Oh, he missed it!
It looked like it was going. Okay. All knotted up at 4. I said it before. I'm not sure why.
Why don't we
just
just get to the tiebreaker?
Let's just get to the tiebreaker. Here we go.
Tied at 4.
And of course, tomorrow in the finals, they're going to play it out. So if we get the 3rd set, no tiebreaker, they play it out till it ends. Win by 2 games. Here they will play the tiebreaker.
So an Isner 78-76 in the 5th?
It's in the making.
Yeah.
And as you said, let's
Why
just
not? They've
get
given
to
the
it.
whole season off, right? They were able to work part-time the whole season with this no-ad server's choice scoring. Make them earn it.
I'm right there with you, Steve.
And thank goodness you're on the call. Here we go. Mark Powers also trying to sort of shape Adam Morgan into that ad side. Yeah, you know he's going to want to hit a couple of these.
Oh, he's just pounding them. And I love the non-plus volleys that you get from Nunez and Powers.
Yeah, Mark makes it feel like he's not trying. That ball is absolutely kicking.
Yeah, but he doesn't, but the way McNerney plays
yeah.
it, and that one's just too good.
Yeah.
He's so much more efficient with it. They don't get the turnaround effect, but that was just perfectly done as he carves just enough of it. Now, Nunez and Powers in this set, they started off 1-love, right? And it started off kind of slow and in their favor a little bit. And then it just flipped right over, and now it's just been, you know, and then they got the separation, you know, 4-2. And like every time, just like you said, Steve, let's just fast forward to the tiebreaker.
Yeah,
slip.
It's that backcourt's been a little bit problematic for Nunez.
See again, and you know, he's got it. Oh, I think it just moved funny. I don't know that he slipped there. I think it moved away from a little.
Yeah, it might have been a seam. That would
yeah, and it seemed away from him because I don't think he slipped. I think he ended up reaching because he just wasn't there. Good spots there from Morgan.
Yeah, I like this. Nunez just doing all he can to put as much spin on that ball.
Yeah, for Morgan, it's just one more back, and maybe he mishits one. And the spin there even gets McNerney. And, you know, he can't let it go to the screen because it's going to go straight and down. And he also needs to play it because he needs a second, actually, you know, Morgan to just recover. Great lob there.
Yeah, it's so tough. That's the one he missed a couple games ago.
Yes.
That ball's, he's not quite in position for it. That
Out.
ball drifts long.
Yeah, great job feeling the pressure. He pulls the trigger a little early. Now he can make that shot.
Look at him stepping right up to the line. Smart, right? Keep the momentum on your side.
That's right at the crease.
Gonna be tough.
Perfect. Lays it down. That's just perfect money ball there.
Yeah, the more he's sort of juiced the ball in the last couple of games, it just keeps working more and more to his advantage. I think this game's going to be interesting. So this is going to be McNerney serving on serve, but a lot of pressure. I think Mark Powers is going to swing away at a couple of them here. You think?
Interesting. I don't know.
I feel like
he may.
Yeah.
But he hasn't been able to catch one clean. You
Yeah,
know that
no, he
perfect
hasn't.
Powers
He hasn't.
when he strikes it and it just goes firing through the middle. He's been more like it's a miss-hit flutter.
Yeah, it's off
and
the hit
part of that
hand,
is,
yeah.
again, the film on the court, the moisture, what's going on out there, and the challenging serve from McNerney. It's got some hop to it.
Yep.
It's got some kick. It comes up into you. And it's a little less predictable, this kick and hop, because is it going to slide or is it going to kick,
Yeah.
right? So, and Powers is such a timer. He's one of the better one-time balls, meaning like that ball's hopping up into his paddle and he just stuffs it.
All right, here we go.
All right, so Nunez Powers, big return right off the bat, but it's so good. It's going to be an easy transition ball there for Morgan. Yeah, that's a dangerous ball there. I don't love it.
Super dangerous.
But you've seen for like the third game that he's just getting more offensive. He wants more to happen, Nunez. That is just perfect. Oh, these guys just one ball after another. Everybody doing their role perfectly, like Morgan scrambling. McNerney staying up there.
It's pretty intense, isn't it?
This
I mean,
is
back and forth.
Outrageous transition balls.
All right, energy sort of calmed down a little bit in this point, but those are gonna be tough.
Oh, big volley.
Wait a minute, is this still the first point?
It is. What a point it is, too. It feels like a momentum type of point. But as I said, the one thing that's unpredictable, let's see here.
15 love.
Okay, no overrule, no nothing. No even question from Nunez Powers. That was really close from my vantage point.
Well, it was one of those balls that you let it go and you realize maybe you shouldn't have let it go. I think it was a lot closer than they thought.
Yeah, it's interesting, like how great a point that was and the lack of fanfare at the end of it. There's Powers taking the strike, and that's not going to be gotten.
Love it.
Perfect combination. We talked about that a little, Steve. He hasn't been able to get that clean look, but when he does, what a difference maker it is. It sort of starts an engine there where Nunez can move
happened
forward.
in an hour and 45 minutes, and Nunez is ready for it. Moves forward. I think he sees that windup.
Oh,
it's
tough get. He's got it. Wide. I thought he was going to hit it.
He showed it.
Thought he was going to hit it.
That's a 14 and under. He's showing it. He's just going to let it go past. Love
Great
it.
shot. Let cord there coming into play. 2 points for the match. Nunez and Powers.
All right. Big serve here needed by Graham. Yeah.
Oh,
Challenges.
Chase! What a get! Powers. You know, he's kind of like stationary. Then he's so quick to move, but you don't always see it. But he had a long way to go to cover. That was a heck of a serve there from McNerney. The blitz and no call from Morgan. No call from Morgan. He doesn't know he's coming.
Yeah,
he's hitting the
giving
dump.
him the look. Yeah.
He's giving him the look. And we are at, let's see.
We're at double match point or
triple match point for Nunez Powers.
I think he's going to hit it.
Oh, Nunez has been crushing these. He's just in a bail. Yeah, smart to lob that one. He's not in position for a good drive. And that is it. And look at Nunez. He fires that. That's like the first real emotion we've seen out of these guys. And this tournament for Nunez Powers has been nothing short of three-setter, three-setter, three-setter. They got 0-2 in their first round. Every other match, dogfight, competing the whole way. A lot of momentum shifts there. A lot of unexpected things, actually, Steve.
Yeah, but it's the tail of the tournament for Nunez and Powers, right? You said it early on. They've lost the first set a couple times already. It shouldn't faze them. I think this team's a little bit different. We talked about, okay, good luck. 3 hours, I'll see you in the third set. But they sort of grinded, right? They played a couple slow games where I thought they were going to speed it up. They got frustrated. Mark cut his arm. He falls. Nunez slips all over the place. But yeah, huge comeback victory. That third set gave us everything we wanted except the tie break. I thought it was going there.
Steve,
I got proven wrong.
Sorry you were proven wrong. But you know what? What a great tournament also for McNerney Morning. Interesting season for them. They had moments like downturns, a little injury. They come back. They have a great tournament here right at the precipice of going to another final. We're going to see more from them in the future. And, interesting way, we got our matchup now, right?
Yeah.
We got Nunez Powers and we got Regalado Salazar. The only team to beat Regalado Salazar in the season is Nunez Powers, one time. And then after that, it feels like the way they got here, Regalado Salazar, inevitable. Like they just crushing everybody. Not a lost set. I think they've lost like 12 games in 6 matches.
Yeah, Nunez Powers 9 lives, right?
Yeah, like they have just competed all the way through. And if you, Nunez Powers have lost 50 games, right?
Yeah.
But all the way have found the way through. Their paths to the finals completely the opposite. They'll square off tomorrow morning.
All right, men's finals and women's finals tomorrow morning on the APTA YouTube channel. For Brad Easterbrook, I'm Steve Sullivan, and that's a wrap.
A lot of founders start out with an idea, maybe in a garage, in a shared workspace, and really being a co-pilot along that whole journey from ideation to execution to maybe monetization one day is really the role we've decided to take in the marketplace. So I feel like we have really found a part of the market and offering that just really hasn't existed. It's this coaching, it's therapy, it's co-piloting on a journey that is unique.
Hi, I'm Ellie Hallbauer. I live in Cincinnati, Ohio, and I am the director of junior rackets at Kenwood Country Club. So I started playing platform tennis because I was at my parents' home club called the Lyceum, and I was playing pickleball, and the paddle pro came up to me and said, "You look like you have good racket skills, I'll give you a free lesson." She gave me an hour lesson, that's Ann Turner, and I got hooked just like that. So I started playing tennis when I was 8 years old and decided to not go to college. I started playing on the pro tour and played on the tour for 10 years and just stopped 2 years ago or 3 years ago now. And now I'm competing in paddle. My favorite tennis memory was playing at US Open and going into the cafeteria and seeing Rafa Nadal eating, and I could almost touch him. Honestly, playing my first match with Jill, because she promised that I'd have fun, and I did, and I got hooked ever since. If you're not having fun, then don't come out on the court. I think my strength is definitely my backhand. My favorite paddle tournament is Midwestern's because it's played at our home club. My favorite memory was wearing the button to support Angelman syndrome last year and having it every single match to show support. I'm Ellie Hallbauer, and this is the APTA Tour.